Hey, Carp Talk, James Sanders here.
Thomas Pearson, how you guys doing out there today?
Daniel and Austin. American Banx. You're right. But again, the guys haven't heard. We just started up. Got a new setup real quick. A new position of our studio. It's all changed around. Sorry it was a little late.
As always.
Always. Also, and everybody's like saying, why you kind of just got your podcast on Mondays? Well, on Mondays when you're supposed to have Wednesdays. We changed it to Mondays now. Tommy wants to do a little bit more fishing on Wednesday, which I'm not mad at him, you know. And there's a couple topics I want to bring out. Also, at the pre-registration for, no, that's done.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's the Kansas City Carp Association Harvest Moon Classic.
Yeah.
3rd annual, new location, 2 rod limit per team, 16 teams total. I don't know how many teams they have, or we haven't gotten word that it's filled up, so I'm assuming that they still have a couple spots available. Entry fees $500 per team, teams of 1 or 2, so you can have 1 or 2 people. Top 4 big fish win. First place $3,000, second place $1,500, third place $1,000. Big fish pot $1,000. There will be other prizes and drawings.
Man, that's
October 3rd through the 6th. October 3rd through the 6th.
Last time I heard, how many teams are allowed again?
16. I think there was like 12 teams.
Yeah,
I think
12 teams, and basically you probably need about 4 more.
Yeah,
4 more teams. So that's going to be really exciting. Actually, once we get closer to the deadline, I want to definitely talk to the Kansas City Carp Anglers.
Yeah.
And
see how that's going.
Yeah, how that tournament went and all that kind of stuff. So, wow, man, we got a really good, exciting show. Anything else? White River Fall Carp Classics coming up here soon too. Coming up here soon in October, so we got maybe 3 or 4 months on that.
But we're trying to push it, man.
We are.
We would like to get more people to show up.
Yeah.
Just to see if we can really,
hit 70 pegs. We're trying to get 70 anglers to this tournament.
And that'd be hard. Like, everybody's always talking about, man, I'm the best of the best. Well, come to White River and see how good you really are. Because sometimes it don't matter how good you are. Yeah. If the fish ain't in front of you, obviously you're going to have, not as a good chance to fish or to catch. You know what I'm saying?
And the cool thing about this, if you're not right at the beginning of the tournament, if you're not happy with that spot once you got that peg, because at the beginning you get to choose two pegs. Once your net gets pulled up, you get to choose 2 pegs that you would like to be fished on.
So you definitely want to take a look at all of them.
But when Doom comes, if you're not happy with that, say, man, I'm not catching anything, I don't like this peg, or at noon, you have a chance to go to that one certain peg that you would like, if it's available, only if it's available.
Yeah.
But you can't pack up until right that
until at that time.
So it's like a race.
But there's an order, though, too. Ain't there an order that you go in? So whoever was the last person to get drawn out, or no? Just free for falls.
Yeah.
As soon as it hits 12.
Well, I'm talking about like you're fishing till noon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, you're talking about right there at the beginning. So if that angler said, okay, he draws 2 pegs, he gets to choose that peg. If he don't like neither one of them, you can put that
and go back to the end of the line.
And then
so no matter what, at noon, anybody can move
anywhere as long as that spot's available. It's like a race to it.
Yeah.
So, it's like
all your bridges are going to be taken.
Yeah.
As soon as they get drawn, they're definitely going to be going.
Yeah.
And make sure you bring plenty of corn if you're going to fish the tournament.
So, also, I want to hear you guys' input. Okay, this is my story behind this real quick. Okay?
He wants there to be one winner.
Yeah. I was in behind my house. Of course, I got a lake right back here, and a lot of people go back here and fish all the time. I got this great little spot, and I seen this Hispanic person, It don't matter what race it is. There's a Hispanic person, but and you caught one-eye Willie. You know, it's a carp. It's probably about 20 pounds and all that stuff. And his eye is completely healed over his eye. His right eye is completely, the skin is completely covered up. You know, it's like, it only look like an eye.
Did you say Westlake Tournament?
No, yes, I said Westlake Tournament. But what I have. But you know, of course, you got a mulberry tree right there, and you know, carp are just all loving it because the mulberries are falling down.
Free bait.
Yeah, exactly. But these individuals, all that stuff, and they were fishing with treble hooks. You know, and catching it. And I don't know. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't say anything. You know.
Should have said, "You're barred. Get out of here."
Well, you know, the crazy part, the person that works, he works there too at the park complex.
Oh, so we need to go high up.
No, it's like the residents. I have no really say, so I could say something. You know, say, hey.
Did you at least educate a little bit? Like, hey, you know, like.
That's my bad. But what I was wondering, what do you guys think about treble hooks? Should you fish with it? Hey, have you done with it? You know, I mean, bass anglers do it all the time. Treble hooks, you know, they're skimming against the water and all that stuff, tracking the bass and all that stuff. But you know, of course, sometimes we're mainly using always size 6 or size 8 or even 4s.
Because we like to catch them and not snag them.
What? No, they sit.
I know. Did you see?
Yes, it was in the mouth.
It had it in the mouth.
It was in the mouth. Yeah, it was in the mouth. I mean, but what do you do? You know?
I mean, I
feel like
the only thing I can say is I don't. So I don't know. I guess that would be my answer. Is I don't. You know, I bet I'm educated though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean on the not using.
But you know, there was time when we wasn't educated.
I mean, you're absolutely right. But that's what that's what this show's about. It's to educate people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't. You know, I always thought that it was always used for catfish.
But I want to hear your guys' thoughts about treble hooks. What do you guys think? You know, should there? Have you? You know, and don't be embarrassed and be that, you know, hey, this is what I did. Because I have seen YouTube videos of special people overseas in different countries.
What do you mean special?
I'm not saying special.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm just saying that
they're people overseas just use it. But that's probably all they know, though.
Yeah. They were using.
I think this is the way I look at it.
I guess the whole no-ball thing.
This is how I guess I should look at it.
Yeah, show them with me. I'll give you a should look at it.
If I was not a tournament fisher or just didn't go for fun all the time, and I was looking to make sure my kids eat or something like that, like I would definitely use a treble hook.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at that point I wouldn't care if I caught it, snagged it,
right,
or what. You know, I'm trying to make sure that
snag it.
Like I said, snagged it, caught it. If I'm trying to put some food in this cotton pan over here to feed the kids or whatever it may be, I'm gonna use a treble hook all day long. But as far as going and actually, you know, fishing and actually or jug fishing or anything, nah, you know what I mean?
No, gotcha. But yeah, again.
But that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Same as you know, a bow fisherman, we don't like them.
Yeah.
You know.
And
kill what you eat.
Tell me.
That's why I don't eat fish.
Tell me what size hook do you guys fish with? Do you guys use treble hooks? Say yes or no. And what size hook do you guys use? I want to hear your guys' comments.
What do you think? Let's ask Austin and Damon.
Hey, yeah. Go ahead and bring them up.
Let's welcome them to the show.
Hey,
Austin, you guys clap for them. You know what I'm saying? Make it feel comfortable. You know. What's going on, fellas?
Really nice.
Thank you guys for having us.
You all right?
Good to see you in the studio.
Yep.
Go look close to the time. You don't bite.
Yeah, I don't bite.
I don't bite too much.
And if anybody rubs any legs, you can see for now.
I just saw what Kenny said.
So, man, look at him. He looks a lot bigger on screen right there.
He's the closest.
The camera's more closer.
He's the closest to the camera.
It's like you're holding your fish closer to the.
He said I use a 12 gauge shotgun. That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I use treble hooks for bass fishing, and I mean, I see what they do to the bass's mouths. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
can only
turn out.
imagine what a carp mouth would do. You know?
Oh yeah, I guarantee you probably ripped that
Yeah.
hook out of there.
Even when I was catfishing, I used flipper hooks, you know, I never used trebles.
Yeah, because the less, I mean, obviously the less damage is
Yeah.
able to, for somebody to catch that fish again.
Catch and release, that's what we do.
Yeah, I'm the same because I don't eat fish. I don't eat fish at all.
Yeah,
you-
I don't eat anything that comes out of water.
Fish sticks?
Huh?
Not even fish sticks?
No,
No?
no,
Nothing that comes out of water, you just don't eat?
no.
Man,
Now
I tell you, I
I've
do
tasted.
like cocktail
I've,
sauces.
I've
on-
ate.
on
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've ate crappie. I've ate bluegill,
You
bass.
just don't care for it.
I just can't get over that fish smell.
You're like,
Chicken. I love chicken.
I love chicken.
Chicken and steak is my
I love chickens.
go-to. Hamburger. You might see me eat hamburger right once in a while.
But you know, you can't really do good carp care with cows.
Huh?
Cow
It's
care.
hard to
Cow care?
Yeah.
Yeah, cow care with
Yeah.
cows.
And cows that
They don't like
care.
the hooks. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, speaking of carp care, we even we've gone the extra step to get a bottle of the antibacterial,
Yep.
antifungal spray. And
you know, I think
A lot. I've been seeing a lot of people use
Yeah,
that here
I mean-
lately, which is a great
if
thing.
I'm not mistaken, you guys used that at one of our tournaments before.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We sure do.
pretty much every fish we catch, even if it's not bleeding, I mean, we know there's a hole there. We just got it in, you know.
Right.
So anything we can do, like I tell people, I try to put the fish back actually in better care than when I got it. You know?
Better than what you brought it out.
Right,
for sure.
so even if it, like, we pull up a fish, it has marks banging on the rocks, whatever, lately it's been spawning.
That was
so,
a big thing in Dale Hollow. They were beat
Oh,
up from the
yeah.
spawn.
Yeah,
Rocks.
they definitely
Yeah.
do tear itself up.
So every time we bring one in, you know, check both sides, spray her down, hit her with some water, take a picture, let her go. And
Speaking of Dale Hog, so you guys went to Dale Hog not too long ago?
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah. It's like how many weeks ago? It's just.
Just a few, 2 or
Sure.
3.
I don't
Wow.
know, 6-ish?
Was it 6?
So was that your first time guys going in there?
No.
No.
That was our third trip.
No,
This
yeah.
year.
This
Third
year.
trip?
This
Yeah.
year.
Shout out to Kenny Mack. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Boris.
hey, how old are you? How old are you fellas?
24, 25 in
I'm
August.
28.
All right. So you got okay. I'm
We
thinking
both-
like job. You know what I mean? So,
I told him, I'm like, I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
Union
Now-
contractor, I get that
Okay.
flexibility.
Yeah, being in the construction field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get sick days, so it's kind of like, hey, notification of absence, I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Corporate more
our,
right
this
now.
is, yeah, this is an honor.
Our first 2 trips were brutal. We
Absolutely. Horrible.
2 days, 2.5 days of fishing, just blank. Nothing.
On both trips.
Both
Both trips
trips.
were 2.5
You
days.
guys blank at Dale Hog.
Oh, so
Why?
you guys, so weekend, you guys went weekend warrior trips.
We would go
Yeah.
Thursday night, get down there Friday, and then stay till Sunday and come back home as late as we could on Sunday, still to make it on work on Monday.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good 6-hour trip, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
I ain't gonna
a.
lie, I've been there.
Yeah,
know.
I've been there too, actually, in Del Hollow. You know.
Yeah, you blanked too.
Yeah, I was down there
I
for.
remember that. I felt bad for you that
I
night.
went down there for a
I
whole.
was like you was getting ready to cry.
Oh, I was mad.
Oh, that's how we felt.
Oh,
on
shit.
but the craziest part is, in the truck on the way back, all we could talk about is, well, what can we do to get him next time? We weren't like, man, this sucks, you know?
You
We
know
were
what's
like, let's-
and you know
what
what's
can we do
really
to catch
sad?
him?
You guys was only there for 2.5 days. That third day, they probably ripped.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They probably was all in that, you know, because we was there for a whole week, and like it seems like the morning that we was leaving, there was 2 fish caught. So it
Mhm.
seems like they was just now maybe starting to come in that area, and then I went home for a week and then came back
Would you guys think that
and roped them.
it'd be a foul or anything if you talked to another angler that you knew that was right there? If you knew, they said, hey, you know, if somebody could say, hey, I'm another angler that was there at Del Hall and said, hey, this is my last day. I jumped the area pretty good. Would you guys think that'd be a foul or like a, you know, hey, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take over that spot once you guys are done, if you guys don't mind. Just so you guys could be on it, you know. And also, what was the tip for you? You know, they were using at the time that attract more carp to your guys' swim.
Yeah, we actually, there's a body of water that we actually work with another angler that we met there.
Yeah.
So like when we leave, we'll throw out a couple buckets of bait for him. When
Nice.
he leaves, he'll throw out a couple buckets of bait for us. So it's like,
It's like you scratch my back, I scratch your
yeah,
back.
so
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
we-
instead of fighting with somebody, because it's wild water, so instead of being like, oh, this guy's fishing my spot, why not just work together and we both can catch big fish?
I like that.
That's
And it's produced monster fish. Like the fish coming out of here have just gotten bigger and bigger progressively.
Now, did you guys just pull up on a spot and fish?
so he showed me the spot.
This was actually the first spot we ever fished together after we met on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys met online?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was lost.
Love at first
I was
sight.
just fishing.
No.
No, it wasn't. Oh, okay.
No, it's like, what's this? So he was an FLW co-angler. He
Yeah,
had
I was a bass
no
fisher.
idea.
Really?
But he had
Yeah.
the passion.
You're a
Yeah,
Okay.
just bass fishermen, just
I'm not
fishing
against you,
tournaments
so
and
fine.
stuff, and then I was just like, this isn't really what I want to do. So I was like looking into other stuff, and Austin just messaged me. He was like, "You getting into carp? Come do a session with me." And I had no clue what I was doing. I was tying my hairs backwards and everything. So he showed me everything, and I mean, the first time we went, he had a rod and he said, "Pick up that rod," and I was like, "No, it's your fish, He's you better pick up that rod." And as soon as I picked up on that fish and a nice carp setup, I was just hooked.
It
I
is?
was
That
like,
wasn't
never
crazy?
again. I will never fish for
Oh my
anything.
God.
This is my main fish for the rest of my life.
That's how I felt. I mean, I started with bluegills, I started with bass fishing and then catfishing. But once you got a hook of that carp, it's like your art fighting a bass on steroids.
Yeah, see, I grew up fishing pay lakes for catfish on the weekends. Friday, Saturday when they stocked. Dad would take me when I was 3, 4
What
years
lakes?
old. Started at Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they got rid of Rainbow, went to 11011
Yeah, been
and
there.
Pine Lakes
In there.
out there. Yep.
Oh,
It's,
that's all the play. Because I catfish before I
never
really got into carp
but
fishing.
it's way up north.
Yeah, it was nice. I don't know if
think
it's
it's,
still open, but when
I
they were
think it
stocking
is
channels
open.
in there.
But I think it's just mainly just a camp area.
It's camping and they do put channels in there, but there's still carp in there.
Kept those little cabins.
Oh yeah, they'll
Talking
still
about Twin Pines
Yeah,
think
up
so.
there in Pendleton.
yeah.
Yeah, so they don't allow overnight fishing anymore unless you actually
Really?
camp there.
Unless you camp there in one of the cabins, because I think didn't they get rid of some of the cabins?
The old owner,
Yeah.
he passed away, and the new guys that taken him over, they've renovated a lot of the cabins.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So you guys out there in Facebook land and all that stuff, if you guys got any questions for these carp anglers here, American Banx. How did you guys come up with the name American Banx?
So originally it was me
Pops up
and
first
another
when you look at
co-angler.
it too, because it starts with A.
It was Brendan
Yeah.
Ward.
Okay, Brendan
He's part of your guys'
Part of the
team.
team, yeah.
He
Awesome teammate.
he came up with the name back in 2016,
Okay.
and I fell in love with it when he mentioned it,
Yeah.
and designed some new logos around it, and we've just grown off of that.
Nice. American Banx.
I mean, do you guys have teammates? I mean, is it just you?
So
It's good.
special announcement today.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
We're introducing a new angler that we've had on for a little bit to the world,
Okay.
and his name is Corbin Bowers. He's from the west side of Indy. He's a really
Okay.
good wild
Why
water.
does that sound so familiar?
It does. Does he fish wild water too?
Yeah, he does wild
Yeah,
water,
he's-
and he does a lot of pay laking for catfish with his father. So
Yeah.
Corbin.
That sounds familiar too.
If we had a
He's-
producer, I asked, man, look that guy up.
He's a great angler.
amazing.
He kicks
Well,
ass.
congratulations.
He's
Yeah.
just really, he doesn't really have like a huge following or anything, but
No.
the fish that he catches, we really want to get his fish out there and really
Yeah.
promote what he's doing because
Absolutely,
he's catching
absolutely.
some monsters.
And
Yeah.
another side, we're trying to take a different angle and open a different avenue on American Banx. We're introducing a bass angler.
Really?
He's a semi-professional FLW angler out of Richmond. His
Nice.
name's Keyshawn Clements.
So we're going to have about 4 teammates altogether.
Yep,
Mhm.
all together.
King Sean.
For now.
Keyshawn.
Right, for
His
now.
name
For
on
now,
YouTube is
because obviously
Keyshawn.
once you guys get more going into it,
So,
you guys are going to attract other people that
Mhm.
love what they see you guys doing.
Right, and that's
You
kind of
know
what
what I
we're
mean?
trying to do with like the bass angler that we're bringing on. Just kind of instead of keeping ourselves to this one thing, it's like, okay, well now we can spread off, and if we get some bass fishermen interested in carp, then that's a bonus. If we get
Yeah.
some carp fishermen that figure out, oh well, when my rods are out, I kind of like to throw a topwater lure here and there or whatever,
Yeah.
So I mean, it could just be a bonus and plus for everybody, just more eyes on the brand and just kind of bring everybody together in the culture of fishing.
You brought another question up for me. So you come from a bass angling background and all that stuff. Do you think, I don't be offended if I say it like this way or anything.
No, you're good.
Bass angling and bow angling are both they both kind of work together in a way.
And bow fishing?
Yeah, kind of like way.
I think
I feel like
they
Bass
must
Pro
be-
Shop.
I would say it's the same crowd
Yeah.
for sure. Like, there's more of a chance that your bass angler is going to bow fish than like your
Right.
carp angler for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's just more like if you imagine like a Venn diagram, you know, in the middle, it's like there's definitely going to be some of those bow fishermen
Yeah.
than there would with the carp fishermen. So
I think
it's,
the money got to bow fishing
I think so.
first,
Yeah.
instead of us.
Yeah.
and that's another thing with the bass fishing is it's more of a money grab nowadays that you see.
That's what I was thinking.
But I also see, like, with the more attention that carp fishing is getting, I think it's eventually going to outweigh the. I mean, don't get me wrong. They say this, you know, obviously it is a sport because they do have tournaments, you know, for bow hunting and everything like that. But
Yeah.
if you look at the ratio between an actual carp angler and a bow hunter, I guarantee you know, the margin is way, you know, around the world. There's just,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's no
I
comparison.
think the United States is basically backwards almost.
We just don't have all the recognition.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just don't take the right people to,
Yeah.
you know, to get everything.
The United States is more of a bass handling state, but you get the whole country is all about carp fishing. It's just like the whole country, around the world, is soccer. Ours is football.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, kind of slightly backwards, but you know.
Kenny Mack said, "Who does your guys' hair before the videos?"
You like,
Whose hair? Our hair?
Yeah.
The wife did mine.
oh.
It was in a ponytail before I got here.
Yeah, you know me, Kenny Mac, always wearing the carp angler hat. So
You know, I said those fellas in the middle. I don't have no hair, so I know he ain't talking about. He must be talking about you, James. All that hair gel you got up there.
Beard.
You got James's hair up here doing this, waving at you guys.
It's all about that beard, not about that beard.
So, what flavor companies do you guys pretty much use? I mean, obviously, do you guys use a
so I've
variety?
started using anybody. If
Okay.
I like your flavor, I'll use you.
That's how I feel. I mean-
I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not
Right.
affiliated with anybody. If I like your flavor, I use it.
That's how I,
There's-
Same or
Buck Jam.
Buck Jam?
Never heard of it?
No.
They sell it at Tractor Supply around the world.
No, I.
$9.99 for a gallon jug.
Buff Jam.
Buck Jam.
Oh, Buck Jam.
It's like a liquid attractant. It's a mineral salt lick.
Look,
It's
everybody
liquefied.
that's watching right now is like,
There's
"Wow,
already
Oh,
a video
yeah.
Buck
online.
Jam."
I put a video up.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out.
So we used that at Dale Hollow and had success on our trip. It was a persimmons flavor.
Oh.
We used that in the whitewater tournament.
Yeah,
You guys.
Yeah.
When it was in our spa mix that we were
Okay.
using.
Nice.
And it's in
Is
every
it just
one
an
of
attractant, or I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's the same thing as a carp flavoring.
Okay.
But on top of that, you know, instead of adding pink Himalayan rock salt,
Mhm.
already in there. It's already mixed in. All your
Something
B12
which is
vitamins
what they're
and everything.
looking for, you know.
Exactly. All your vitamins and minerals, the same thing that starts life for Bambi,
Mhm.
same thing as carp are looking for.
It's
Yeah,
got
protein.
magnesium and everything.
Well, we use the cattle cubes and some
Yeah.
pureed dog food for our protein.
I love
Yeah,
cow.
because you can get dog. You know, if you go to
Dog
the right
food's
place,
cheap.
it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
And it's high in protein. Like some of them are 60-70%.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that one that I found, I forget which one it was, but it was high. It was like 80 something,
He said,
85.
Kenny Mack said, "Tell them the whole story on that mixed fly guy." Fly guy, is that your nickname or something?
No. So we started hanging out with Kenny and getting to know him a lot better.
Yeah, he took us under his wing. I can't
And
give things enough to Kenny Mack.
So-
Nah, he's definitely
the spod mix we
You
actually
know.
use,
Yeah.
10 to 9.
we discovered it because we accidentally left our buckets in the back of the truck for a week before we went to Dale Hollow. Well, we got down to Dale Hollow and it was the same stuff that Kenny already had on the boat. So we get down there and we're like, what is that? Did you buy that? He's like, yeah. Wait a minute, how'd you get that? Because he thought he was the only one with it, and I thought I was the only one with it too.
Yeah.
Well,
Secrets out.
it's cattle cubes
Yeah.
that have been left out, or you soak them,
Yeah.
And they
turns
break-
into the mush.
not even mush.
Not much. It's
No.
like a powder.
It's a powder.
If
And
you-
it-
Oh, okay.
It's-
Not getting them
no,
wet.
you don't want to fully soak them.
Yeah. Just a little.
just enough to get them to break down.
Yeah.
And it is the best ground bait mix I've ever found.
Oh, it's great.
I like it better than anything I can buy.
Light bulb.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, now that makes me think of it. You know what I mean? Because
I'll tell you, I give one of my secrets away. I mix it with some of those packs of bottom feeder baits,
Oh,
the
nice.
premix,
Yeah.
and they tear it up. They love it. I spot some of those out, and then just
Yeah.
one little pack, and they hit 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. They're gone.
Mix a little sweet corn in with it, or
Yeah.
so another thing we do. It's on that whole boiled corn concept. I don't get whole corn. I get the cracked corn,
Yeah.
and I make sure I cover that bucket 3 days before.
Tournament one's got a lot of that.
And I
Mhm.
I make sure I soak it.
Nice.
So by the time I go to use that cracked corn, all that starch has leached out, and it's almost like a jelly
Yeah.
in that cracked corn.
Yeah.
And that's what
And
we use a lot
it'd
of.
be at the top too, especially if it sits for a couple
Yeah.
days, things like that.
I mean, at Dale Hollow, we were holding shoals for like 3 days. We held a whole shoal. He swam out into them, putting buckets of water, buckets of food out, and then
Not buckets. We only used maybe a 5-gallon bucket of food while we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't
But-
use a whole
Because
lot.
you knew you was only gonna be there for a couple days.
4 days is
Well,
what
that time, yeah, we were there a little bit
Yeah.
longer.
Because that's how I look at it too. Like if I know I'm only gonna be there for a couple days, I really don't want to be putting a whole bunch of bait out there because I want them to find mine. You know what I mean?
That's part of our baiting strategy too.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Is I don't want to give you nothing really a whole lot like that. And you got to give me something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And,
Yeah.
and see, that's one of the great things about the mix that we use is there's no real sustenance to it. They don't. They just suck it up, process the little bit of minerals, and it's just out.
Yeah.
You mix that with a little bit of like really boiled corn so they digest it real quick.
Yeah.
They're just down there sucking stuff up and
They're
just,
constantly eating that shit. Eating
And
that
it,
shit.
Yeah.
it stays in the silt. That's another thing about our mix.
Yeah.
So
it keeps them feeding down there. So they're
And
not
that's
really
what you
getting
want.
full.
Yeah, you want them to keep feeding. That's why the new boilies and everything that they're coming, the solubles and stuff like that are coming out. They're being made specifically for them to go down there and eat and poop them out just as fast. That way they continue just want to stay in that area and eat and
Right.
eat and eat because they're like you said, they're processing it just as fast as they can take it in.
Yeah, which if I think what is Daniel's strategy on fishing 7 miles away? Oh no. Okay, so our first night,
There it is, right
there's
there.
like a faraway beach, and it just looks so carpy, and it's great, but it's pretty far away from the houseboat, and I wasn't really that experienced in carp fishing yet, so
it was probably a good quarter-mile hike, but there's no bank access, so you have to go in 3 foot of water down around in a cove and come back out onto this sandbar point that he wanted to fish.
so anytime I would, get a little beep, I'd get my waders on, run halfway down, and then I look at the receiver, and it stopped beeping, and I look at my rods, and I look at the receiver, and it stopped beeping, and I just walked back. But I got Austin because I ended up catching a catfish down there and made him walk through the water and go get it. So.
Yeah, it was a good 4-minute run.
So you guys,
water.
was you guys fishing around the boat? Or
We,
on the side of the banks?
We got off onto the bank.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
fished.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys take a houseboat or?
So the first 2 trips we were gracious enough. It was cold. Like
Oh, I am.
It was-
Oh, it was free,
I think the first trip was in February or around there.
early March, something like that.
That's early.
Yeah, it was
It was-
really early. But
Yeah, you got. From what I hear, if you go down in that time, you might want to go to Taylor Ford. You guys ever heard of Taylor Ford?
we went down and we were under the wing of Kenny.
Yeah.
And the first trip we were kind of just starstruck,
Yeah.
being down there. We
It's
didn't know
such
what
a
to
big
think.
Like, oh my
water.
God, Kenny Bank, you're a star. You're such a good guy.
No offense to Kenny, but it was more or less about the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, like-
They overlooked you, Kenny. Sorry, man. I was trying to help you out.
No, it was definitely great to hang out with him. We learned a lot.
Yeah, he's a great
Oh,
guy.
Being
he's-
that close to him and Carrie.
Yeah, Kerry Wright too. I want to shout out him. He's taught me a good amount.
Yeah, he's a good angler too.
Yeah,
really
he-
good angler.
Couldn't
Both-
ask for 2 better guys.
Yeah, they
fishing
both
that
had,
seriously. I mean, they're really good people.
Yeah, they both had. They started out in Pay Lake, I think both together. That's how they became really good friends. Pay Lake came together, but then they just kind of wanted. Eventually, they wanted to do other things a little bit better.
Yeah, they told that story on our podcast while we were
Yeah,
down there.
yeah, we got to talk to him for a good bit.
So you guys do YouTube videos too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try and do a lot more long form
Okay.
video, so there's not so many of them coming out.
Okay.
But when they do, they're a good like sit down and watch in the evening
Yeah.
style video.
That's kind of like us a little bit too. And it's
Both of you are
And
now,
now
blocked.
blocked.
That's the second time this week you blocked McKinney.
I think it's, yeah. Thanks,
It's okay,
Kenny.
I'll be unblocked in the
harsh.
morning.
That's harsh. So, and of course, your guys' YouTube channel's called American Banx.
Yep.
Yes.
American, common spelling, and then Banks is BANX.
Yeah, BANX. I like that. I like how it's that sound.
So do you guys have another trip planned for Del Hollow already?
Not yet.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it. Hopefully in the fall we'll
Yeah.
get back down there again.
We might try to piggyback off Corbin's trip. If
Yeah.
we can, so.
So tell me more about Corbin. How's he?
Hey, hold on, wait, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
If
This
you
is your
guys,
show.
if you guys want a place where you can just drive up and pull up, Taylor Ford. That's the main.
Okay.
That's the main river that leads into Del Hollow.
Now, I'm going to tell you something about Taylor
Monsters.
Ford. Taylor Ford,
Same as-
from what I heard, and I fished there plenty of times, it's not a good spring area.
No.
It's a fall time.
Yeah, spring they're worried about being in.
Yeah.
They're worried about being in Del.
Um,
Going in there to spawn and all that. Too.
I even talked to Gilbert Huxley a bunch of times about Taylor Ford's, and he'll tell you the exact same thing. Hey, Taylor Ford's a nice place, but it's
Fall.
fall time. There's other areas in Del Hollow, like the flats, the Goat Island.
Yeah, I've heard Goat Island.
But those are all known places, though.
Yeah.
There's 20 places that are known, but there's
For sure.
20 to 30 more places that are unknown
And
that
of course-
people hasn't even fished yet.
And that's
you know?
kind of like what we did, like with our trip, our good trip that we had where we caught, was at Seawell. So like everybody's been to Seawell, everybody's caught at Seawell. But for us, it was more of an overcoming, and we stuck it out. We went down there, we blanked, we put our work in,
Yeah.
froze our asses off.
Yeah.
And now, even though we're getting rained on and my bivvy's flooded, we're still catching fish. So.
I feel like when you go, especially in springtime, it's like you're messing with so many elements of the weather. You got your hurricanes. You have,
Yep.
I feel like a lot of times the weather gets way below 32 a lot of times.
Mhm.
The winds is blowing hard on you. You're trying to keep your stuff down, not going to the lake, your canopy, whatever, all that stuff.
If you want to know if the fish are biting, just you follow Kenny Mack or another person that he didn't go down there a lot this year because he got bit by a spider. But TJ Wise,
TJ Wise,
he goes down
Rick
there.
Slinker.
Yeah, Rick Slinker. Them guys are all constantly down there. So
Yeah.
if you see them catching fish, that's when you'll know
Right.
when it's on.
Yeah, see,
because
we
you'll see
were-
Kenny Mack holding another
Oh my
40.
God.
See, we were on our way, and he called us and he said, "I got a 40 in the sling, boys." And we were like, "All right, let's go, let's get down there." And then we get down there, and not a single
Not
fish
another
caught
bite.
that
What the
whole
heck?
session.
That's how.
But we did get to
black
we got
flag.
to take pictures for them. That was
Oh.
an honor.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
see
and we
Kenny's
took-
40s and Carrie's.
We
That's
took
what I
a
want
picture
to
of Kenny's 40 for him, and we took Carrie's 40
Yeah,
photo. So
But that gives you guys something to work for, though.
Oh, for
just
sure.
to let
Oh,
you know,
it's-
like obviously, like you guys know it's possible. You know what I mean?
Those fish are burned into my brain for sure.
I know you guys is going down there like
we know where it's at.
two days at a time. I highly suggest if you guys are gonna go to Del Hollow, like it's fun to go down there for 24 to 48 hours, man.
Mhm.
But if you're not sitting there for a week, and like I said, I've been down there. You can go down there and blank in a week too.
Right?
I think
It's all about that temperature of that water, man.
Yeah.
That water's got to be in the 50s and 60s before
Kenny Mack, I believe between Kenny Mack, Carrie Wright, and sometimes TJ and Rick Slinker, they stay down there for almost a good 6 weeks.
Oh yeah.
a couple months. Especially if they, like
And-
TJ, he was booked up. He had a lot of charges down there, man. They've all had, every one of them's had clients that has done very, very well.
They go to Clove Creek.
Very, very, very
Rick
well.
Slinker goes to Clove Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been there yet. I haven't been to that spot.
No.
I don't know what. I feel like you have,
I've been down there, 1, 2, 3. I've been down there like 3 or 4 times.
because I feel like you we went fishing down there with Gilbert Huxley one time on the houseboat. You struck out. And then
Everybody struck out. Don't just say
oh
me.
no, not me.
Read what Kenny
That
just
was
said.
that's
man.
the second week. So listen, I went down there for a whole week and blank,
Blank.
and then came back for a week, and then went back for a week, and still was blanking for the first like 3 days into it. Like fish. We're using the same bait, same pickup, same pink cord.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I was sitting there, man, and I'm there. That's when Kevin Tharp was like, man, Tommy's pissed off. You can just see it all over his face. Because everybody's around me, you know what I'm saying, just sitting there ripping fish, and I'm doing the same shit, same bait, everything, man. And it was just like they was just not in the area for some reason, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I moved on the other side of Gilbert Huxley, bro, and boom, instantly started catching fish.
We've had sessions where it's only one rod is written off.
We paid Gilbert to do that.
No.
Yeah.
It's
We paid him to fight Tommy over there, please. Somewhere wasn't going to happen.
I hit
question.
I hit my PB.
Johnson.
Do you guys have any good areas to fish for carp in Johnson County? Not sure about the DNR lakes down here.
Let's see, Johnson County. You're going to be over there.
I mean,
If you can get to Southwest Way Park, White River runs back there. The Southport Bridge over by Indy Lakes is a really good wild water spot.
yeah, there's the spillway that comes out right there.
They're closer to Lemon too.
Yeah,
Probably
you're really
only a
close
30
to
or 40
Lemon.
minute drive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lake
that-
Lemon.
I do like Lake
Now, are you talking wild water, or do you fish Pay Lakes at all? Well, he's saying DNR, so he's talking about wild water.
Yeah, that's kind of what
But
Yeah.
and that's
For
true.
real,
Hey,
for
Kenny,
real.
Kenny May just said it. Rick Slinker and TJ Wise are the real professors. You know what I'm saying, for Del Hollow, because they spend that time down there, man.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? TJ's put some people on some chongs too. They all have.
Yeah. So what?
All the stuff I need.
You guys get on. We got Del Hall a little bit here. We'll get back on it. That was great. I love it. What other lakes here in Indiana do you guys like to fish at?
I fish a lot of Geist.
Geist.
Actually.
That's okay. Geist is awesome.
I fish both the.
Take your. I've never fished at Geist.
I take both
By
the,
here. It's a lot of
the
stuff.
Fall Creek, the runoff,
Right.
and then I also fish at the dam part. And I mean, the dam is so. I need to honestly be more diligent and bait up more. But
Right.
Yeah. Now, do you know people that live out that way for you to be able to fish there, or is
No.
it just places that you pull
it's
up?
just places that
Because
I.
Geist, there's a lot of
There's
small.
There's big carp in there too.
Is there?
Oh, there's
Oh.
monster.
Oh. There are.
What the heck am I? Where am I at?
You
So,
know, you're
This
Westlake.
is a horror story that happened to us about
Oh no! Here we go.
I want to say 7 weeks ago. We were out at Geist, and we were just going out to have a picnic with the dogs, have a good time.
Right.
And I wanted to try and get her on her PB.
Okay.
So we had 8 rods set up, and
Between us, not just.
between all 3 of us.
Oh, that's cool, bro. We won't talk about it.
But
No,
so
we know.
we were fishing our swim that we normally do, and we had one north of us upriver. Well, we hook into one, and I feel it's a monster. It's a good fish. So I say, hey babe, take this. And we get it, and she's fighting it. We get it right to the bank. And this was coming off of his 35 that we caught at Dale Hollow.
Okay.
This fish was probably 7 to 8 pounds bigger than his 35.
Wow.
And I broke my net trying to get to it.
I can
Yeah.
just imagine the size fish that's in there, because guys has been
I
around
mean,
for a long
it's
time.
huge too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Alright,
it's
so-
a big body of water.
We're going to compare this lake. I feel like Geist and Eagle Creek are both basically pretty much about the same size lakes.
I think Monroe's the biggest.
Is it?
I think.
Well, I'm talking about just between those two.
Oh, okay.
About the same. How come you guys' thought process? Do you guys think there's some big fish in White River? Not White River, sorry, Eagle Creek, sorry.
I haven't really carp fished Eagle Creek enough to really know. I caught some monster crappie out of there. So,
Yeah, there's
I mean,
some good sized crowd.
And I mean, I see people catch big bass. So I mean, usually if you follow, what other lakes have, big crappie, big bass,
Right.
big perch, there's usually some big carp.
There's
in
probably
there.
some big carp in there, man. They just,
I
people
just-
don't
There's
fish it
so-
enough.
Right. That's kind of what I'm saying is we have so many untapped wild water that
That we
people
just
say,
can't
oh,
get
I
to."
fished it for years and I didn't do it. Well, I I get that you fished it for years, but you didn't throw my bait
And that's-
at my time with my little pop-up that I was using. So
And
like,
everything changes too
Right.
throughout the rivers too.
and you didn't have that fish swimming through while you were fishing. It's just all so many different moving pieces.
There's a
that
lot of
you'll
luck
never-
involved too.
You'll never know.
Seems like the harder we work, the luckier we get.
Right, yeah.
no,
I
for
like
sure.
to say,
If you put the work in, then... Oh, Zuko! Hi, puppers.
I like to say luck is
Go.
preparation meets opportunity. You
Let's
know?
go. Up
So
there,
like,
down.
if you're prepared for whatever situation, you're gonna seem a little bit luckier than most people.
Gotcha. All right. So what do you got? What's your guys' pickups? Like, do you guys like a specific color, or do you guys are pleased?
So, I watched a video on color spectrums
Okay.
throughout like different colors of water,
Uh-huh.
and what I really saw is pinks pop up a lot
Yeah.
and oranges pop up a lot. So
Okay.
I've really been using a lot of pinks and oranges.
Right.
Now, if we throw in like a bunch of boiled corn and stuff like that, I'll throw a yellow or even like a full stack of like just a quad stack of corn with a yellow top. Just stuff like that.
I messed it. What?
I did not
Kenny
fuck-
Mag, he said, I thought I was dog bit in my underwear.
Oh no!
Okay. So now.
He said, scares the shit out of me.
uh,
I can just imagine what your old lady think. Well,
it's just not that
Right.
behind her.
so the dog works.
Yeah.
Laundry's done.
Yeah, laundry's done. So the hope. Now, of course, we asked the other anglers on the show before and all that stuff. Do you guys think that carp sees color?
Oh, yes. There's research that backs it.
I think they
and
do.
that's one thing we did with our color spectrum video. They actually see more hues than we do.
Okay.
So that's when you go to your pink corns,
Yeah.
and you're all running pink, but only 2 people out of everybody's catching, but they're running the same brand from the same batch. That pink hue's a little different. We've had the same thing
Yeah.
where we've been fishing literally 25 feet from each other on these rods. His is running, but mine's not. I take one out of his box, and then I'm starting to get runs.
Yeah.
You can buy 4 brands of fake corn, and not one of those pinks will be the same.
Even in the same
Yeah.
bag.
Right.
I'm a high fluorescent, high pink.
See, I love the fluorescent oranges, and I like the fluorescent yellows.
Okay.
But my pinks, I do like the fluorescent, but I like a little bit duller of a pink. Just
Almost on the borderline of going to red.
Yeah.
Like washed out red, pink, that. Because
What color do you think they see the best?
they have
So-
more,
Just from, I guess from, your research.
they have more,
We ask everybody the same question.
they have more, I think it's cones.
yeah, the cones. That's what I was showing him a diagram.
So they see a lot of blues and reds that they don't see as many greens per
Because
se.
we hear black a lot.
Yeah.
So with black, I think it's more of a silhouetting. So they can, instead of actually seeing the color, they distinguish it off the bottom better.
Right.
Because they can only see, they can't, so you imagine a carp with its body. He can only see, imagine from his about gill plate with a cone in front of him. So
Okay.
he actually can't really see anything on his sides. So you're really trying to just get, your sense and your silhouettes. Just when he's swimming through, you want him to just kind of out of the side be like, oh, what is that? And then he'll swim right over there and pick that up. So it's more of a silhouetting and contrasting your colors.
Similar to when you're doing 70 mile an hour down the interstate, the boring billboard doesn't catch your eye.
Yeah.
But the one that's flashing and bright
Yeah.
or sticks out against the sky, it'll grab your attention, you'll turn your head.
I can see. Okay, I can dig it. I can see what you're saying.
Kenny said, don't sell white shorts, fellas.
No, white's great, and I think white's great because of, like I was saying, the silhouette effect, as it contrasts.
Like it pops out.
Yeah, it just contrasts with the bottom so much. They're just
And I
as
use-
they're
I use
going
white
by, they're
also.
like, what is that white thing? And then they just go in there.
We've worked that pattern into our spot mixes too, and our pre-baiting
Like
strategy.
as far as bullies and stuff like that, or
colors, trying to contrast colors off of what we're using for hook baits.
yeah,
You
So
guys-
we try and match the bottom of the lake bed as close as possible in color.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Then our pack bait will be a contrasting
So if
color.
you're
to
throwing
it.
pack bait and you're throwing a pink pop up, would you like, some people make their maize like with the boiled corn and stuff like that, and then some people will add that to like tournament blend or carb cocaine. But then I see people like take, if they're using a pink pop up, they'll take pink flavoring and put pink in their corn. No,
No, we want it to be, so like he was saying, imagine floor and then we spot, so there's like a brownish, pile, and then we want our pack bait in that pile, but we want it to contrast on that pile. So we want our like whitish oats to contrast in that other pile
I see
of
what
food.
you're saying.
Rarely do we
Right.
use a
Like a layer on top of a layer.
Right,
Yeah.
kind of think like a bullseye.
Yeah.
we rarely use a really bright colored pack anymore. It's, if anything, we add enough of a flavor to give a speckle to it, but never do we want to dye
Yeah,
everything
overpower it.
completely.
Yeah, any clear flavors that I can find, I love. That's Wicked Pineapple. It's clear. It's really good.
Okay. So you guys are familiar with probably all the flavor companies then, huh?
We've
Oh,
probably
yeah.
tried about everything.
Yeah, I've been going to shout out to Beach Grove Bait and Tackle as well. Adams Outdoors. Been going up there. They've been talking to me and helping
Good,
me
good,
out.
very, very good people. They've been around for a while.
Mhm.
I was just in there. I just went in there Friday. Matter of fact.
Yeah,
I was blessed when I started to hang out with Chris at the barber shop down at Bog
shout out to the
so
barber shop
yeah.
too.
we've been able to
Chris
sneak
is a
and
good-
make some few flavors. So.
Yeah, that is one thing Chris is very, very good about, man. He'll let you come in there and make your own flavor.
Mhm.
That way you're not saying anything about any other flavor company, but you know what you're getting.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're not getting no watered down flavor or no alcohol flavor or
Right.
whatever it may be, because different flavors are done by different companies different ways.
Right, and that's what I was saying is like you could have every company has like a pineapple, right? Well, none of those pineapples are the same. You can even smell them; they don't smell the same. The consistency isn't the same, so it really just matters. Like even at a different time, like what do you want? Like if you're in a pond or a lake and the water's not really flowing, you can use those more liquidy ones. But if you're in a river or something where you got some current, you want those kind of gels that really stick on there and kind of ooze out there.
Or
I
you,
was just go ahead.
you find a particle or a cloud that'll hold on to that,
Yeah.
so you can get it to drift. Depending on if you're trying to pull fish in or hold them.
And he has stuff out there that you can add to your flavor that
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, that causes that cloud effect too.
Yeah, I was just there last
But when I
Saturday.
painted his shop on the exterior, so when I painted the shop on the exterior, he was showing me, he showed me a pineapple, he showed me another company's pineapple too, we're not going to talk about who it was or whatever, but he was like, here, smell this. He was like, this is pineapple, and then he was like, here, now smell mine. This is, my hog sauce pineapple. And like it smelled like pineapple, and then it was the same company, and it was like he showed me a garlic, and I smelled it. I'm like that smells like that don't even smell like garlic. So he was like, well, here, smell my garlic. I smelled his garlic, and I'm like, yeah, that's garlic. That's garlic. You know what I mean? So, it's to each his own.
Right, and that's really what it is, and that's kind of one of the great things that I've found about carp fishing since I've been in it is so many people do so many different things, and what maybe what you would do, I would never do.
What works
I would
for
never
you,
do,
what
would do.
worked for
Right.
me,
And everybody catches fish still.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see everybody just have their personal preference and everybody's little different systems that they do. And I really like learning about that.
Yeah,
kind of
confidence is definitely key because
Mhm.
there's so many flavors. I mean,
Yeah, if you're not confident in what you're doing, you'll just be sitting there head
totes
casing
and totes and
yourself.
totes.
I hear a lot of people, good carp anglers, they said, Loudon says, just keep it simple.
Mhm.
That, yes.
Don't
That's the first thing
don't
he told me.
overthink.
Don't
Keep it
overthink it,
simple.
just keep it simple, and eventually, you just. So, okay. Now, let's do it this way. When you guys start your first session, or you guys pick a spot that you like. What's the first thing you guys do? You guys start chumming? Do you? Guys,
Have we already picked out? Are we just at the lake, or have
Like
we already
we just
picked out a
show
spot?
up, we like,
You guys.
Because if we just show up, then we're walking it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Show me what do you
Okay.
guys do first?
So we'll walk it.
on everything?
We look for like structure. We look for feeding bubbles.
Muddy water.
Signs of fish.
signs
Yeah,
of fish
sign-
in general, and a lot of times we'll sit there, if we see activity, we'll sit there for 2 or 3 hours just watching.
Yeah.
And on the first session, we're really not trying to fish. We might put a rod in a piece, but a lot of times it's a sampler, it's like you go
Yeah.
to Applebee's, you try the sampler, you're just trying to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And usually, if we catch one on one of those sessions, we'll pull the rods out. No more fish today.
Nope.
We just put bait in. No more fish today. We know that they're there. We want to get the bigger ones in there. We need them to feel safe. If we don't want any more fish, we're gonna rest the swim. So just keep baiting it. We'll come back, keep baiting it, and then usually
It's normally 3 or 4 weeks before we sit down and have a session on the spot.
Really?
I mean, that's good though.
No, I mean,
it's
that's
still
like
long
it-
for him. I'm usually out there a little
But
bit.
still,
more
it's really
during the week,
interesting
but-
how you guys would do that, you know, I mean, everybody to each his own, you know, that's.
Hey, like you said, he wants
But
them fish to feel
he's
comfortable
training
though
them.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we
It's
see
train
it.
them to the sound of bait hitting the water and not spooking them off too.
Right.
We want them to hear the spot and be like, "Oh, that's
Dinner
we're eating.
bell.
That's dinner bell." Yeah.
And you can see the change. We have a great example. 79th and Fall Creek.
In there.
Been there.
Everybody's been there.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody catches 72 fish in 48 hours there.
No, I think the most I've ever caught there is maybe 1 or 2 on a day session.
Yeah.
We've gone out there and caught 12 in 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
But it was 3 weeks of prep work, of not fishing it, just showing it
Where'd you guys fish at?
right behind Kroger, right where everybody
Yeah,
fishes.
Yeah.
we fish right off.
Like to
I
the
was-
right of the
I was fishing
island,
right
to the
off-
right of the
Right off the
island.
point,
Yep, right there.
right on the point where it wraps.
Yep, that's where I like to fish at too. If we, you know, depending on if I was there first, obviously I want to fish the one right there, but I'll go on the other side of the drainage
Mhm.
where the drain comes out. I like to go over there on that side so I can fish down that bank.
That's what we do. That's where the
I like
sandbar
that
got wrapped around. That's where we were fishing, on the right side of the drainage.
But I don't think we ain't never had no session like that. We've been out there with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
We
guys.
just.
12 guys at one point. Almost our whole team was there.
It was just do that one day and we'll leave.
Right, now see that's the difference. It's like you
You guys
can't
are
expect to do
training.
that when, you
Yeah.
know, like you said, you're showing up with a bunch of people and you're like, all right, let's everybody fit.
And
Yeah.
It's a lot of gas, a lot of time, a lot of.
Yeah.
You get off work, you're like, I don't feel like going to put bait in, but you're like, go put bait in. You make
Yeah.
yourself do it because
Yep.
you want to have those sessions. You want to get those fish in.
And we found over those, so we baited it for 3 weeks and then we started fishing it every other week.
Yeah.
And we fished it every other week for probably 2 or 3 months.
What's your guys' biggest out of there?
It was a 14.8 muddler
Okay.
and a 19.8 common.
Yeah, so not a bunch of flippers, but
You guys ever fish down at the other end?
no, the big open end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked at that spot a lot. I like it. I like how it
Because there's
looks.
there's
but-
another like pull off down there to where
Yeah.
you can park down there too
Yeah.
that I've seen. But we've never fished down there. We've always went back to the same area
Yeah.
for every video shoot.
Yeah, now
We
see,
haven't been there in a long time.
No,
yeah,
we
we
haven't
haven't.
been
We've
there.
kind of been relaxed off that spot because of the flood that we had last spring.
It washed a few
Yeah,
fish
yeah.
out. We have a video out where we went, I don't know if we posted it or not.
We posted it to Facebook. but
To
we-
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah,
We
we saw it.
there was some bass anglers that went back to try and fish the river.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, there's like 7 or 8 carp in this pool over here. You guys might want to save them, otherwise they're just going to die. We pulled 37 fish
No kidding.
out of a pool that
Wow.
was ankle deep.
Wow.
Yeah, to fish like as soon as we walked in, we could feel them.
Did you guys post that video at all?
It was on Facebook, yeah.
I think I seen that video. I want to say I seen it.
And probably the biggest one was close to 15, 17 pounds.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were a couple nice ones in there, but
They just got stuck in there.
Yeah.
They got stuck
and
there after the
because
flood.
I think
When
it
the
just
water,
flooded
obviously
and
when
they
the
went
water,
through
you know, they're going to venture off. You know.
and they're going to go with the current down through
Yeah,
the
and
river,
that's
so they just
right
went
where
through the
that
pipes and over.
overflow is.
And that's why I always wanted to fish that other side anyways,
I
just
did too.
because I know that, you know, just for instance, you know, when my buddy bought 1111, rest in peace, Steve, every time he would put fish in, they would always go to the corner every time he put a fresh load in. And it was because there was water, there was a creek on this side and a creek on this side. And they felt, you know what I mean? They
Oh,
could
yeah,
feel
they
that
feel it.
water moving and that rumbling, so they was always going to that area. And they would stay down there until obviously they got used to watching, you know, what they was going to be watching. You know, just staying in that area. And once they got used to being in the pond or whatever, they did it that way.
See somebody asking what rods and reels you use, you can tell everybody about your expensive setup. I know you're
My
excited.
$1,200 combos.
Yeah.
I have a 12-foot Harrison Torix Customs 3.25 test curve. They've got my name and country of origin on them.
Oh, that's nice.
And then
Special order?
so ordered from raffle at Carp Angler.
Okay.
And then customized myself.
Okay.
And then Daiwa
You say
Massey
customize yourself, so you engraved your own name in them and
made water application vinyl decals for the rods,
Gotcha.
just like a normal pro shop would.
Good.
Yeah, I'm nerdy.
No, it's good.
nah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
You got that.
You'd be surprised on if you're able to do that. How many other nerdy people that you know what I mean don't know that would
Right,
light
the
you up like
Beyblades.
you know.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them. I was like, everybody loves, their customization, especially in America. Everybody wants to personalize it.
Austin,
This
he
is
had
my
two
own.
big eyeballs on his. You know what I mean? He called it Black Betty because it was solid black, and he put two big old eyeballs on there. So when it's coming to you, the eyeballs are going like this.
Have you seen the LEDs I put on mine?
I've been seeing some of the LEDs. I don't know if I've seen yours.
I've got the boat in the truck. You want me to go grab it real
Yeah,
quick?
go get it.
Yep.
Bring that baby
It's-
out here.
Get ready, they're blinded.
Right.
They're put two big strips of red and green, and they're pretty good. Ask you what I use. I was lucky enough, like I said, Kenny Mack took me under his wing. I didn't really have a proper carp setup or
Yeah.
proper reels.
Ken's a good guy. Real
And
good
he
guy.
showed up one day to a pond that I told him I was fishing at, and he showed up with reels and Daiwa reels, and instead of Trinity rods for me to use at Dale Hollow, and I use those to this day. And I just really can't express enough how appreciative I am to him for
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
really helping me
Okay.
get my
If anybody knows, trust me, we know.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
we know what type of person he is. We just, Kenny's just he's just all the way around a good guy, man. He'll give anybody not only the shirt but the shoes off his feet
Right,
if they
yeah.
need them right there on the spot. You know what I mean? Even if they didn't even need them, he's probably still gonna try to get
Right,
them.
it's
You know what I
still-
mean? Just if he even sees like, man, you know what? Here, you take these,
Right,
buddy. You know what I'm
right.
saying? That's just cool who Kenny is. It's in his nature. He's a big old teddy bear.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he doesn't-
Everybody, he is a big old teddy bear, but I'm sure we don't ever want to see him pissed off. So you know what
No,
I mean?
I-
So
Mhm.
here's
There we
the
go.
Actor Plus Pro
Oh, here we go.
model.
We're
So let's
Oh.
look at it first.
Yeah,
that's
so
solid.
Huh?
That's solid.
Oh yeah, they're dope.
So this is my
they're rad as
personal.
hell.
It's just a conglomeration. The actual kits look a lot cleaner, and Kenny can be attest to that.
So, for what you guys see, you got a good size bait boat. It's probably maybe what, 3 feet?
Two.
About
2
2
feet.
feet.
You
long.
got two propellers in the back, right? Now, of course, if nobody has seen what a bait boat is, you got your antenna right here, right?
Yep, that's an upgraded one that I did myself.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Get better signal, go further.
Yep.
And then you got a
I got
trap
about
door.
another 200 meters with it.
Yeah.
You got a trap door right here that opens up and it drops your bait. Or
So
also,
you make your bait ball like this,
Yeah.
boom. Open the
You're
trap
missing
door.
the best part.
Go ahead.
Hit the power button.
Okay.
Oh,
This is right. Wow, man.
no, watch
So-
out for the greens.
This is our custom LED kit that we're doing. We're calling it the Bait Boat Navigation Kit. You spend $1,200 plus on a bait boat, you want to protect your investment.
Exactly.
Which
So-
is being able to see it.
Exactly, because before you only have these 5 LEDs
Yeah,
On
which
the outside.
if you're far out, they're smaller.
and fishing Dale Hollow.
Yeah.
How many times have you been buzzed by bass boats at night?
Yeah.
So you're running these at Dale Hollow or say Geist, and you got people that aren't used to seeing these. They don't
You
know what to
added
look.
this on. You added this.
I add
Yeah.
this,
Oh, yeah.
yes. This is
Yeah.
an add-on. I charge, right now it's on sale for $112.
And you got the red for what was the left? What is that? Port. Or
Red is left, green is right.
Right. Okay.
It's,
It's kind of like a plane.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know port and starboard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what-
standard navigation lights for every boat on the water. So
It's nice though.
That's very awesome, man. We
Yeah.
actually know where it's at and in the dark and all that kind of stuff.
and we tested it
At Summit, yeah.
at Summit on Saturday. We probably took it out 200 yards.
You got the green. You got the red on that side. Wow, that green is
Yeah,
bright.
it's hard to take
it's pretty
pictures
deep
of.
too.
It'll
You know-
hold about 6
You
pounds.
know what? It's about that deep. So you can put some decent amount of bait in there and chill in that spot.
And then you upgraded that part.
I upgraded the antenna too.
Now, do you get farther distance?
I get
like that?
150 yards extra on that.
They're definitely worth it. For
Yeah,
sure.
see, we'll load this up with bait, but
Yeah.
first we'll open the door and put our rig in there,
Right.
close the door,
Yeah.
then put your bait on.
Yeah. Do you guys put your ball in there and then pull your ball back out and set it right
no,
here?
So we'll hold it and then close the door and put it right on
Okay.
bottom.
So I'll put a little bit of
well, see,
ground layer
I guess
in.
that's what I was getting at. Do you close it as soon as you put it in there? Put your ball on the
Yeah,
bottom.
the ball
Because
before
I
the
would
bait.
want, me personally, I would want my chum to fall first, and that ball being the last thing.
See,
to
that's
fall
what
on
I
top.
kind of make like, I don't know, like imagine a rabbit.
But that's
or something,
that's
you
how
know?
that's how Austin Anderson does it too. You know what I mean?
I
It
put a little
takes-
bit of bait, then my rig, and then a little bit of more bait over the top, so
Yeah.
it falls, and then there's still going to be a little over, my sinker, but my bait's always going to pop up.
Yeah,
with
for
that,
sure.
So it kind of covers the
Brother,
sinker.
that kicks ass, dude.
I appreciate it.
No, it definitely does, man. Like you said, I guarantee you, it makes it to where you can see it.
Oh, absolutely.
Way less room for error.
Yes.
Especially in the bigger antenna makes it to where like you said, you're getting extra yardage out of
So
it.
how, besides the bait boat itself, okay, how much was it just for you just put that much stuff on it? How much was that?
How much would I charge?
No. Well. I'm not never mind. I'm not going, that's
No.
It's a business model.
Yeah,
we're
that's a
trying to
business
start.
model.
So how much would you charge somebody to put that on their bait boat?
So right now, I have a 6-month warranty on the light kit
Okay.
and waterproofing that I do.
Okay.
It's right now it's on sale. It's $112 for the standard kit, and that is wired to the switch. Get 2 rows of LEDs on each side, and
You put the switch on and everything.
No, the switch is already in.
so the switch is here.
I'm
that's
sorry,
it.
I'm a little dumbfounded.
So
So bait boat.
this is the original power switch
yeah,
to the bait boat.
he just added.
Here, move the boat right there so they can see what switch
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah, so
There you go.
here's the original power switch on the
He
bait boat.
taps into the power
I
switch.
go into the circuit board
Okay.
and come off of it, so it's all wired to it.
Yeah.
That
So
way you don't have a separate power source.
Exactly. You don't have to drill another hole and put a toggle switch on it.
Yeah.
And I thought that it would drain, your boat battery too fast. You'd have to only get like 2 or 3, and then because of how bright the lights
So
are,
we
you'd
used
you'd
it-
have to recharge it.
We used it all night Saturday
Right.
for probably, I don't know, probably had 30 minutes of runtime on it
Yeah.
from a full charge, and it dropped it down to 80%.
Wow.
And that, lights are on. So.
Do you remember how many amps they pull? It's like barely anything. Right?
It's less than 2 amps per foot per strip. So
Now, does your guys have the navigation on a thing like so? Once it goes out there, you just hit a button on it, and then it automatically comes back the same way it came.
So these boats do. Yeah, this is the Boatman Actor Plus Pro from
Okay.
the raffle sells it at Carp
Yeah,
Talk.
Carp Angler.
So yes, this does. This one,
Well, they got one on that.
this boat
they're-
has
they're-
been
they're-
through everything.
Yeah.
And right now I'm battling a problem with it from our last trip. But it has been
It's a problem.
So it's the ECM. That's the thing with my boat. Like I try weird stuff with it and see if it works or if it doesn't, so I can offer
Yeah, it's
other
pretty much his
things.
prototype boat.
Exactly. Before I try it on a customer's boat, I do it on my own.
Right, exactly.
So I'm battling that, and this boat owes me absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. $1,200, and I've got my money's worth out of it. I've had
How long
it
you had it?
2 years.
2 years.
And the reason I tore it apart in the first place and started looking on the inside is I actually broke my antenna.
Yeah.
So I tore it apart, and that's when I was like, I'm just gonna upgrade it while I'm here. I'm getting a better grade quality cable, I'm getting better antenna.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, real nice, dude.
and then
Good job.
the lighting kit, we were at Dale Hollow and we saw the bass boats with them on it. I was like, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we were like,
Eyeball.
why don't we just do that?
So we did it,
When
and
that thing came on, I was thinking it was like a bow angler's boat for a second, how bright it was. But you having that thing going on at night, man, you're like,
You're gonna get, and like you said, you're gonna be
I
able to
think
go
you're
to
gonna
your
get
same
hit.
spot every time.
we also do. I'm starting to get into boat repairs. I'm helping Tomas V from
Okay.
Connecticut, New York,
well, heck
Yeah,
yeah.
with his RT4.
Now he has He's hit some monsters.
Yeah.
I'm helping him with his RT4 right now,
Yeah.
getting it fixed for him.
Yeah.
I helped Kenny Mack. So on his, they have this hook dropper on the back, and from factory, his came installed wrong.
Really?
So when I put his LED kit on for him, I fixed that and repaired it and rewired it. So I'm starting to dabble into bait boat repairs as well. And
Nice.
at least with the boatmans and the carp lounges, I'm able to deal with the companies directly and get parts OEM.
Yeah.
So everything, and I charge $150 service fee, and then you pay for parts.
Yeah.
So as long as it's not like a full restoration.
So what's the PB on the boat?
Oh man. So the PB on the boat is my Indiana PB at 26.3 from Summit Lake.
Nice. Summit Lake, that's awesome.
Came out late October.
Okay. I dig it.
Why does Austin think that they in Indiana anglers are better anglers than Arkansas anglers, like Jace Alford?
Too bad you messed up. He's in Arizona, Kenny.
Oh yeah, he is in Arizona.
He gets it mixed up every time. He's like, they both start with A's.
Well, I would double down on Kenny and say, well, Kenny, why have you only taken us to Dale Hollow, and why haven't you brought Jace down then?
He's, Jason's only 15.
Yeah, he's
That was the big thing. He
Yeah.
was going to come down with us on our trips, but they couldn't work it out with his parents to where one of them could come with us.
We just had him on the podcast.
yeah. Listen.
Very educated.
He's a very educated little young man. I see him going very, very far in the, in
That's
the
what I
carp
tell
game,
Austin. I said, this
as
kid
far as, in
knows
the
his stuff.
he
future.
gets such a high ceiling,
Yeah.
and he's
The
already
people
catching,
he's surrounded by out there.
he's already catching beautiful fish and just
Yeah.
koi and big dark commons.
You
that
can
look
just
like
tell
they're
by the
from
way he
Belgium.
talks to him being young. He has the he has the passion.
He has
I
that drive.
admit-
He's getting out there.
Ever since he came on the show, I had other carp anglers from Arizona come and start reaching out to me.
Really?
And I feel like I almost want to start an Arizona, the carp anglers, Arizona carp anglers, do a little podcast with them, just because Arizona, I feel like it's a tough area. You got a lot of desert areas. It's very
Like I said,
hot.
it's a lot of park water and stuff.
Yeah, they like Jay said, they go like almost like an hour or 2 hours away just for his first session.
Kenny just said he's booked. He's coming to see Kenny in September.
Jace is booked for September. I might have to go down there. Jace can teach me a thing or two.
Oh yeah,
We were
Jay's
always learning.
very. He's another good angler. But
They just don't know where to look, Eli.
do you guys mess with PVA bags a lot?
Depending.
Depending.
In the winter,
He
I was
says
using a
depending.
lot of PVA bags,
Yeah.
just because I think it's something I can get a little bit of exactly what I want right there on my hook. It's not
Right.
something that they're really messing around with. Because also in the winter, you got to think they don't really want all that oats. They kind of just, they're looking for something smaller, just something they can just peck around, pick up. Well, I want this, I want this, I want this. Hook bait, get them. So
Yeah.
I think PVA bags, especially PVA mesh.
Yeah.
I thought about doing that because we do a lot of porch pots in the wintertime
No.
at Hubbard's.
Okay.
And, certain baits, it takes longer to break down because of the cold water. So I thought about using like pre-made PVA bags.
Yeah, that's
That
what
way
I have.
it's
2
all-
Ziploc bags just ready to go in my fishing bag just in case, I pull up somewhere. If I see a fish, I don't want to throw a big ball of pack at him. I'll just hook on a PVA bag and just half-ounce lead and just throw it at him.
We use a lot of pellets and powder in the winter.
Yeah, cause a cloud.
Right,
Well,
yeah, that's...
when you use it in a bag, it doesn't really cloud as bad. So you're sitting at the bottom, and it's just
By
this
it's
light,
leaking out.
loose food for them.
So I got another question for you guys. Now, back to that one conversation we was just having, how you guys said sometimes it take you guys maybe 2 to 3 weeks just to get that one lake prepped up for you guys
Really
official. Is there another lake that's why that lake's waiting? Do
Yeah,
you
are you
fish
guys
at
jumping?
Do you do another lake?
I think we
2
need
to
to
3
get better
weeks?
at that. We
Yeah.
kind of tunnel vision,
When we
but
first started, we did do that. We had 3 lakes that we rotated through.
Yeah.
And we were able to rest one lake for 2 weeks
Okay.
while still putting food into it while
And
we
you
fished
collect-
other lakes. but we've kind of fallen off that wagon.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're starting to get back into that rhythm.
Yeah. 'Cause I feel like my opinion, I feel like, I like your guys' concept, how that all is, but I also feel like it's kind of like you guys losing a lot of fishing time too.
Yeah, you could be
Yeah.
missing out on
See, that's where
certain fish that are coming and going.
I'm lucky
and you guys
enough
missing it.
to be able to get out there throughout the week and
Right.
relay back to him and be like, okay, yeah, they were biting today, or
Yeah.
no fish in the swim today. We need to try something else, or
Right.
bait was gone, or bait's still here. So I have a little bit more free time to where I can do a little bit more scouting and really find those fish.
And do you guys also, when you guys do have, get a lake pre-baited and all that stuff, how many hours away from you guys, or is it just close to your guys' house to get
So it's
all-
usually about
Because I think one of you two guys live pretty close to here.
yeah, I live pretty close to here.
And you
so-
live pretty close up to Geist.
Newcastle.
Newcastle, okay.
Geist is a 45-minute drive.
Yeah, so we kind of meet in the middle when we fish
Okay.
Geist.
Yeah, all right. Okay, gotcha. Wow, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Mhm.
Wow. That's true. A little bit.
I drive out here to Indy to work every day. So
Sorry.
So it's not that he's used to the drive.
It's kind of like Chris for the barber shop. Each way he travels around.
Kenny Mack said, "Oh my God, don't encourage them to fish more."
Yeah, that's. I
We
mean,
encourage everyone to get out and fish
no,
more.
Kenny understands how much of an addiction it is for us.
yeah, I was already telling my girlfriend. She was like, "Well, when are you going to be home?" I was like, "Well, I'll be home for a little bit, and I'll say hi to you, but I got to go bait up this spot.
That's
and then
good.
if I see him there, then I'm probably going to put a couple rods in the water." She was like, "Okay, I'll see you at 4 a.m. again." Okay, I love you.
So how's that with you guys' relationships? You guys' relationships.
You see my wife right there. She's
She's probably all for it. Do you fish at all?
Oh yeah,
her biggest is 27.
she was out at Dale
PBs,
Hollow
that's-
killing them.
Yeah.
She-
What's your PBs?
Mine's 28.6 common,
Common.
Nice.
and then Mirror is 27.6,
Buffalo.
12 caught
At
at
12
the tournament.
at the tournament, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
And I've never caught a
That was a good
buffalo. My common's 31 that I caught in Dale Hollow. So both my PBs came from the same trip.
Yeah.
31 common, and then that 35 mirror that see in my profile that I love to show everybody.
I always thought it'd be kind of cool. All these top anglers, they actually, because of course, you got the web going on, you got social media. I always thought it would be kind of cool that somebody one day will come up with an idea to have baseball cards, but in carp fishing.
Oh yeah, like
that'd be
little
so
ring.
Little
cool.
stats,
Yeah.
let's say, hey, this is on this year, and people
Right.
start trading
Be like,
cards.
oh yeah, I got
And
a
you know
Dale
what's-
Hollow
and
24, 35 pound mirror.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember this, but remember a few years ago we had a lady hit us up,
Yeah.
and she was coming out with a carp fishing game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
We got the
We,
pleasure.
we sent her
Right.
pictures in of like almost all the guys on the team.
What was that one?
But we never even heard anything back from that. Like after we sent pictures in and everything of like us holding
There is a
fish.
website. There is a website.
I don't even know if the game ever really even came about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many, just things that fall through the floor that are so cool to do. I mean, we have so many ideas that it's just like throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's just, okay, what sticks?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. That's what we got. Let's focus on that.
I've done that plenty of times. Throwing up spaghetti against the
Mhm.
wall.
You guys
Right.
you guys prefer fishing at nighttime or during the day?
So lately, just because it's been so hot,
Yeah.
I've been able to get out there during the night and fish, from 9, even though it's still 98 degrees, from like 9 until, like I said, 3:30, get home at 4 a.m., go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't like to do sessions less than 12 hours.
Yeah, he
I'm,
likes
I'm
to dig
addicted
in.
to like that too. My wife she's like, I don't see how you can go fishing for 12 hours. And I'm like, it's just so peaceful and quiet. It's like a whole, not her.
That's what
but
you
just-
say.
I mean, I'm speaking the truth. It's just, it's always,
you're the
it's
dumb.
always been peaceful and quiet. It's just a whole different type of, it's
Full
just
moon,
a,
good or bad.
You're just out there with nature. I get
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you
it's,
hear the water.
just quiet, hearing frogs and, you know what I mean? It's just a whole different peace of mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my happy place. I don't care if I'm on a Pay Lake bank or the wild.
Yeah.
Like just that feeling of being out there itself. Like for instance, I didn't go fishing Saturday night and I didn't get there to the spot until like midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I got back at the campsite at like 3:30, and it was like an hour drive. So just to the spot, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. So
Yeah.
I only really fished for 2 hours. I only actually caught one actual carp, caught 2 channels, but just to be able to go and do that, like that was a piece of
Right,
mind.
just the whole process of
Yeah.
even just, baiting up, getting your hook baits on, throwing your rods out, putting them in the alarms, you're like, I'm fishing.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
helped
good.
our mental health a lot.
And then you hear the catfish guys next to you, like that's not a good way to pull up and make friends. That's what they told me as soon as I got there.
Oh, we love it.
Did the third ride out. By the time I did the third ride out, the first one that took off, I lost it. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was, whether it was a channel or a little carp.
Yeah, we have the attitude, we're like, come over here and fish with us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how it.
come see what
Oh,
we're
they
doing.
was
We're
definitely
open
my
books. We
And
share everything.
If somebody's
Yeah.
standing right there when we're talking to them when a rod goes off, we'll look at it. We'll say, that's yours. Pick it up.
Yeah.
We did that. So
Teach one.
Mm-hmm.
we had a, I want to say kid, but he's not. He's 18.
Okay.
He's one of her coworkers' sons. He wanted to get into carp fishing.
Of course.
So we took him out and I was like, okay, we're going to try this little river spot that I haven't tried yet. We didn't catch. I'm like, okay, so we're going to go to Memorial before they drained it. It's a small fish pond, but it teaches you the fundamentals of picking up a carp rod and not jerking it. Started there, got him on like 6 fish in 30 minutes. And it's like, okay, time for some real fish. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah, we're bouncing the Geist.
Yeah.
Daniel
Yeah,
was
I had
already
already
there.
been pre-baiting it, for the last 4 days, so this kid comes in.
So we already had the plan to go fish Geist that day anyway, and it was a tag along. So we're like, okay, come on, we're gonna go fish for some real fish. Get him there, and he's like, just out of it. I'm like, man, what's wrong with you? He's like, my girlfriend just broke up with me.
And they were like, oh, man.
That sucks, we're trying to get his mind off of it, and all of a sudden the rod rips off. It's Daniel's rod on the right side of the swim. Hey, grab that. What?
Yeah, he's
Grab the rod!
He's still like kind of moping, like, oh, I don't want to. And I'm like, if you don't pick up that rod that's screaming off right now, you better get that fish. And he picks it up, he feels it, it goes down, and he's like, oh, this is a nice fish. I'm like, yeah, I bet.
Nice.
24-8. His
24
first Indiana carp.
Oh,
And where was this at?
Geist.
Guys.
Guys, Joe.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's.
That kid, you probably just got that kid hooked.
Oh, he is. He's so hooked. He's gone out almost every weekend since.
No kidding. Nice. Good job, guys.
And I mean, that's like one of the things we try to do, especially fishing a lot of like
Yeah.
park places and public places, is if somebody comes by and they're interested, then we're gonna talk to them. I'm gonna open my bag. I'll show you every single thing I got. Here's what's in my bait. Here, dip your hand in my bait. Mix it around. And if I get a rod to go off, they get to pick that up.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just misconstrued. You know what I mean? When it comes to, when you say carp, they're like, oh man, the Asian carp things,
That's
man,
what
I
they're
can't
like,
believe you
yeah,
guys
I can have
catch
all
them.
that.
Why would you want, you know what I mean? Like no, we're talking about a bottom feeder carp, a
Yeah,
common carp.
I carry a DNR identification card in my wallet that shows the silver carp, it shows the Asian carp, and then I
Yes.
pull up on my phone, and I see this is a common carp, and I see how it's gold, see how these are silver, see how this has scales, see how this has a huge mouth.
Have you guys caught an Asian carp before?
I have not.
Nope.
We did a video shoot over Lazy L, and this is full of Asian carp in that little area.
There's everything there, grassies, everything.
There is, yeah. And Juan, I mean, we've caught Asian carp, and of course, by Indiana law and all that stuff.
They want you to kill them.
Yeah, they want
They don't
you.
want you. They don't want you.
Yeah, but that's
They
what-
want you to throw that on the bank and
Yeah.
let it die.
And-
They don't want you to put it back in
And
there.
that's what we do.
Because them things.
But I also heard those Asian carp are really, although you don't eat fish,
Yeah.
they're really good.
That's what I've heard. I've heard they're
They're
actually
really,
They're starting to serve them in restaurants now.
Well,
Which
the same
they
as
should, too.
they say common carp in in certain nationalities and stuff
Don't
like that.
kill me.
Or they say they are very, very delicious
Don't-
to eat too.
Don't kill me.
Some places they say they're a
What are you about to
delicacy.
say?
So, you're a big fan of kill and eat. So, eat what you kill.
Yeah.
So, we were out catfishing and we caught one. It was of average size, 8 to 7 pounds.
Obviously, if you was catfishing, this was before you became.
This was
carpenters.
way before. This was back when I was in high school. So, I was catfishing at the time. We caught one. And we were
That's true,
hungry.
Eli.
And we had a skillet, so we're going to try it. And it is a delicious fish.
Yeah.
It's white and flaky.
Matter of fact, I'm the Indiana chairman for carp anglers.
How much that cost you?
They're happy to get somebody from Indiana to do it.
Sure.
Matter of fact, we had a couple of carp anglers. But I put a little thing on there not too long ago. Matter of fact, I feel like it was maybe about 3 weeks ago, where is a newspaper clipping about eating carp, and how people said, it's good. It's a great little topic and all that stuff. I have ate carp before, a long time ago. Before
What?
I have, and
No wonder. I
don't-
can tell. I can tell.
I don't-
It's starting to come out now.
And the whole newspaper clipping was awesome. For families that want, and even the president of Carp Anglers Group, he comes from a country where they actually serve carp for Christmas.
Yeah. Now to
dinners.
defend us,
Yeah.
when you
Block
do
all
something, you want to understand it to the fullest in
Yeah.
all sides.
Exactly.
So to have a complete and full understanding of something, sometimes you have to do stuff that isn't looked at in their best manner.
Yeah. And see, we had an opportunity like that,
Oh, yeah,
shout
yeah.
out to Gilbert Huxley, he got a hold of us, and it was a community up north,
It actually was in Geist.
Yep, it was,
They want to drain the lake.
they wanted to drain this, I want to
No.
say it was a runoff. It was
I'm sorry.
it was an apartment, it was a housing
Yeah.
addition somewhere up north.
Up north.
It was a private place, you couldn't just go in there and
They
fish.
wanted us.
They wanted us to come in there
Catch the
and
carp.
they was gonna pay. What they did, they was trying to give us money. They offered us. We don't know how much. They was gonna put so much money up, and whoever caught the most fish that day, or because they wanted some teams. Like they wanted 5 to 6 teams of 2 people teams, and the people was gonna put a bounty up to whoever caught
Right.
the most weight fish that day. But every fish that was caught,
Yeah.
the carp was going to be sent over here to the chef that was there on site, and he was going to fillet, and then it was going for a good cause. They was going to take it to the homeless people, you know what I'm saying,
Homeless
to like
people. Homeless shelters.
to homeless shelters for to get ate. But
We started thinking about it. and
We
all that
didn't
kind of
do
stuff. Yeah, we didn't do it.
we didn't do it because we didn't want
We're all about catch and
We're all
release.
about catch and
Right,
release,
yeah.
and we didn't want to see what type of backlash that we maybe could have got
Yeah.
from it,
Yeah.
But,
If it was
but at
for
the
a
same
good
time,
cause.
it was for a good cause, and maybe we could have learned some stuff too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, we could have learned how to fillet a carp, or how to clean it without, because I've always heard, carp are bottom feeders. If
Yeah.
if you hit the mud vein, the
So-
meat's ruined. Da da da
I'm
da.
sure you saw the fillets, and you probably remember what they look like.
Yeah.
So you ever caught like a catfish over 15, 20 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Fillet them, and they like the fillet's bloody.
Yeah.
So the bottom half of their fillet, you can see like it's an artery that
Yeah.
runs through it.
They call it
It's-
a mud vein.
They call it a mud vein,
Yeah.
but all it is a main artery that
Yeah.
runs along their lateral line.
Okay.
And the bottom half of the fillet, it has, so salmon have the 2 Y bones, and so carp have 3, and that third one's tricky. That's why no one likes to fillet them and eat them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you cut the bottom half of the fillet out, and there's no bones in the top half. And the
Yeah.
fillet's so big, it's completely usable.
Nice.
How do you
And
know
it's
so
just-
much about cleaning carp?
I have a vivid memory of when it was traumatic.
But
He was a catfisherman, bro.
But that the Luke guy, I think famous YouTuber, he does the catfish and carp. That's why he started out YouTubing, and then
Mhm.
now he's doing this outdoor.
Outdoor boys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he on his catfish and carp video series, he cleaned
it
one,
Mm-hmm.
but of course it's not trophy size. It was a small one.
Yep.
And he was showing. He went to a friend's house and he's going to show him how to clean the carp. I started checking it out, and of course I'm like, man, I'm sure carp anglers, once they seen this, they'll probably be all over him. he erased the whole comment section, so no one could make a comment on the video. So it's
Yeah.
It goes back to my thing, like having a complete understanding of what you're going through.
Right.
I don't-
Understanding
The
all
goods,
sides.
the bads, you
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
That was the name. That's right. That was the name of that video that we did for the grassy for the Asian carp. It was called "The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly," and it was like good carp, bad carp.
Yeah. Eli said small carp have a different name in Europe. In Romania, it's called cares, and I've eaten some.
Yeah.
They aren't considered carp until they are 5 to 10 pounds or more. So over in Romania, they're probably in Europe and Romania, they're probably
So I wonder
a
if that's
delicacy.
I wonder if that's still like the common carp, or if that's like the
No, it'd be,
Crucian carp.
no, it'd be commons.
Yeah.
Because Crucians are more of like a hybrid.
Yeah.
So, but I get what he's saying. It's kind of like how you call lamb and veal.
Yeah. Well, a lot of
Okay.
the places over there, like in Romania and stuff like that, like they don't have commons. Maybe
No, it's
they're all like mirrors and
So-
leatherbacks and stuff. That's why a lot of these guys from over there go to Del Hollow to get their PB commons.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's hard to get big commons like that. I'm not saying. I mean, obviously we know they're in there.
Yeah.
But you'll catch way more mirrors and stuff like that in Del Hollow than you do.
That's
commons.
what makes that lake so special. Those are weird.
Because of the
Yeah.
So you guys understand the lineage and where they came from? The
No.
mirrors?
I mean, spit some knowledge. That's what this show's all about. You know what I mean?
Like I said, we're nerds, so we do
No,
a whole
you're
bunch
good.
of research.
We appreciate the appreciate the knowledge. We're not gonna say
So-
nerds.
Carp, everybody knows they were originally bred for food
Yeah.
production in the Soviet
The Civil War here.
Civil War here, but they started in the Soviet countries like Romania under that rule.
Right.
So they were using them for food, and these factories wanted to find a better way to clean these fish. They were spending too much time taking the scales off. So they started selectively breeding them to have less and less scales for food production. And that's where we get our mirrors from.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Interesting. Oh,
That's very.
so they're
that-
basically hybrids.
They're so it's the same thing as koi. You know, there's
Right.
different genres
Yeah.
of koi. They're all the same
Fantail,
species,
yep.
but they've been selectively bred for color or for pattern.
Wow.
Same thing with these.
Okay. Have you guys ever caught a koi?
No, I
No.
have.
I have 3.
Actually, I have. I did catch that koi out of that church pond.
You did?
Yep, I
I'm
caught.
jealous.
He's only about 2 feet long. He's not big, maybe 7 pounds, but
Right.
he's not fully scaled. He's a mirror koi. He has
Yeah.
some scales here and there. I've driven past the pond that I caught him out of a couple times. I think somebody might have snagged him out of there or something. 'Cause
I want
haven't
to catch
seen
that
him since.
fiery red one we've seen at 79th and Fall Creek.
Yeah, I hope he's
Yeah.
still in there. I hope he
I
didn't
bet
get out.
there's. I bet there's probably some nice ones in there.
We know of 3 for sure. There's a silver and black, and the black comes along the lateral line. He's a zipper.
Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
there's a yellow, like a gold, and he's a fully. I don't know if he's fully scaled or common, but he's a smaller one. He's probably 5 to 7 pounds. And then there's this fiery red one that looks like a dragon. He's all black down the back. He's got.
Is it a fantail or?
I don't know. Like
we just see him
You
come
just see
up.
the back.
we,
You're really
we
mad
have
at the back.
videos of him.
There's a carp angler here in Indiana, and he caught one of the coolest koi's I've seen. It had like a gold.
Was it the black one?
Yeah,
White one that?
Adam Vasilov.
Yeah.
He caught that thing. And that thing was beautiful. I think it was a fantail too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it had like a tiger stripes on this thing. It was
So I guess there was a guy who actually lived on Geist and had this huge koi pond, and then he had to move, and he said it was just too much effort or too much to move all his fish, so he put him into that 79th and Fall Creek pond. But since the flood, we're not really sure,
Right.
Yeah.
that stock of fish is still there. That flood really took most of my confidence in fishing that spot out.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Me personally, why go there and bait up there when I could go bait up Geist when I have it's more
another 15 minutes up the road.
right. Especially when I have more confidence that there's bigger fish in there.
I guarantee there's some. I guarantee there's the place has been around too long for there not to be some big fish in there.
Yeah.
And the IMI pits. We all know that rock quarries, old quarries, hold big fish because of all the minerals.
Mhm.
And that's all Geist is. It's an old IMI pit.
Yeah.
And I think that has something to do with why the fish get so big in there too.
Natural food sources.
Natural food, and then
And like salts.
all the minerals are there, so they're constantly getting I guess you'd say it'd be like steroids, you know? Like,
That's how with Del Hollow, I think a lot of the zebra mussels. You know, those zebra
Oh, they use
mussels.
some zebra mussels.
that's
crazy.
crazy. Summit has a lot of them.
And so, I mean,
And it just beefs them up. They just get big and.
Do you guys, when you guys go to Summit, you guys fish in the pull-up spot? Ain't that
We
where
hike.
hike. So you guys are packing a light.
No,
I wish we were back in
wheelbarrows.
Multiple trips.
We try and do it in one, but
Do you guys ever try?
Is that, ain't that where we went and we got rained on?
Where?
Summit,
So. Yeah.
up north?
Yeah.
And the when Christmas barber shop came?
Yeah.
No, that was Sylvia.
No.
That was
Yeah,
Sylvia.
that's Lake Sullivan.
Yeah, that's why.
You guys
That's why.
fish Lake Sullivan?
haven't been there.
We got a video out there.
Yeah, he's got a
You guys should
barrow.
check that out. It's about
I
two
got a
and a
cart,
half,
so.
3 hours away.
What?
Right?
Yeah.
It's probably a good quarter-mile walk-in at Summit where I
Yeah.
caught my 26 at.
Have you guys ever thought about packing light?
Oh yeah, we do.
I thought about it, but then you start to pack light.
So,
like,
let me
okay, I need
rephrase.
this, I
Yeah.
need this, I need
Our
that.
pack heavy is probably most anglers' packing line.
Right.
It's a rod bag, it's a bag full of pop-ups and tiger nuts, and then it's a tackle box.
Yeah.
And then it's 1 or 2 buckets of bait, a chair, and a bivvy.
That's packed.
That's our packing heavy.
Oh, okay.
Our packing light would be
Bucket,
the rod bag.
Yeah, that's-
So it'd be
Couple
the
hour
rod bag,
session.
It'd be the rod bag,
Because
tackle box,
yeah.
and then one thing of pop-ups or one thing of tigers that we want to.
I'm always trying to come up with. And I said, man, because I'm getting older.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I am. You know, now
I can tell your barbells are starting to grow. You're an OG carp now.
Damn it, man. But no, it's like, why do I need all this stuff all the time? I mean, you know what I mean?
We've
Yeah,
It's because you don't want to get down there and not have anything that you might need if you need it.
Yeah, but I mean,
We went camping and took a swimming pool.
Okay, yeah, your guys'
It did-
packing.
it
heavy.
didn't-
yeah, that's kind of
It
heavy
didn't
packing
even-
for us.
We
I
went to
mean-
Dale Hollow for 4 days and barely brought enough food. I mean,
Yeah,
that was us packing heavy.
I mean,
Like,
I-
we had enough for 3 dinners.
I survive on Chex Mix, Pop-Tarts, and Slim Jims down there, so it doesn't. I'm not worried about the food. I'm worried about the fish.
Yeah, but sometimes I need the food.
Yeah, I feel I
I'm
did
not
get.
gonna lie. I need to eat a meal. I need the breakfast.
We didn't even bring a cooler with us. We just
Yeah.
got shelf staple stuff.
You do got to be careful down there. I did get heat exhaustion the first day.
Oh
though.
man, you were horrible.
I couldn't keep water down or anything. I still have.
You also did just go splash in the water after a 100-degree day, and
Yeah.
it zapped them.
Yeah.
It was useless.
Yeah. Took a nap, woke up, caught some fish.
Yeah, that sounds about right for Del Hollow though, because you definitely learn their pattern.
That
Oh,
is
the
a
first-
lake that will kill you.
Oh, the first couple
Yeah,
days,
it's
if
like-
they're not biting, and then they start biting, you know
Definitely.
whether it's gonna be morning
Going through
time
environments.
or they're gonna bite during the night time.
That's what we'd have alarms set, and we'd hear it go off, and it's like, "You ready to spot?" And one of us would be like, "No," and then the other would be like, "Come on, let's go. You
Molly
know we want to
Payne.
catch fish."
Who's
So,
Oh, that's my girlfriend.
Molly Payne, is that right?
Payne.
Yeah, Payne. I said it right the first time. She said-
Probably 'cause you-
probably 'cause you eat no food.
Hey,
I just said that, babe.
I'm more focused on getting my bait out there, keeping the fish there. I'll
So-
eat when I got time.
Yeah,
How many
that's,
have you
hey,
fished?
that sounds like a carpenter.
Total?
yeah,
Or just for carp?
just that total for carp.
I started in high school,
Okay.
and I didn't really do it full time. Full time, I've probably been doing it 2 years,
2 years.
2 or 3.
Now, do you guys?
Now you
Is it carp or total?
carp.
Carp, he just got me into it last fall
Okay,
for carp, so
Okay, well, I'll ask short time and I'll ask that. What's your guys' best memory of carp fishing?
But well, Dale Hollow is like a dream.
Okay,
so
there you go.
that's out of there. But
Yeah, I would
I'd say the first day we met, we didn't catch a lot of fish, but like the weather, like it just, I don't know, everything felt right that day.
yeah, it was just like as soon as we started, warmed up and started talking to each other, we're like, oh, we click, and then the alarm started going off, and we started catching fish.
And they
we
were
saw,
shooting stars.
we saw how much he appreciates the fish. He saw how
Now,
much
are we
he
talking about when
Slow
you
walks
guys
to the-
first
on the
met,
beach,
or
no.
like when you guys first met?
I thought you were talking about us. I'd say our most
Was it like love at first sight?
Moon,
Like,
the stars,
Yeah, it was
everything
pretty
aligned.
good.
The fish bit that day, you know.
He had the little twinkle
I would say
in his
that's
eye.
probably the best. Or we have it on video.
No,
in
it's
the
really-
Oh, it was on video.
When while we're eating dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's asking me, what can make this
Well, at
trip
least he
better?
bought you dinner first.
I swear. And he's just like, what can make this trip better? And we had already all caught PBs, and I was like, I don't know what can make this better. And then our alarm just screams off, and he catches my face just all excited, and that turned out to be my 35
Yeah,
years. So.
we were excited we got one, and then all of a sudden we're sitting here and it goes "Rrr, rrr," after we
Yeah,
cranked
awesome.
down the drag.
Yeah, I had my drag.
And we
cranked
just
down.
both look at each other in the video and we just start giggling. We know it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So just stuff like that. I mean, we've honestly had a lot of good times. It's just.
Yeah.
That's how you catch a fish.
Yeah, I had some guy, giving me a hard time, and he was bass fishing, probably one of the guys' tournaments or whatever. They get hammered every weekend, but he was mad. He wasn't catching anything, and he was just right over my spot, and I was like, "Hey, I'm fishing there," and he didn't care.
Yeah.
He got rude with us.
Yeah,
That's
So
what
am
pissed us
I. You
off.
can't see me on my
Right.
boat.
But I was just like, enjoy catching, no fish while I'm catching 10-pounders all day, and he's yelling at me, and then my rod goes off, so I pick it up, and I'm just yelling at him, well, that's how you catch a fish, and he boats away, he's pissed off.
He ruined the lower unit that day. He
Yeah.
sucked up about 100 yards of 40-pound braid and a 3-ounce lead.
Wow.
Yeah,
We've seen
You do
that.
get
We've
some
seen them
basses
come
out there.
flying by too, and they see it's like
Yeah, there's a lot of motors.
Yeah, I'll try to, I
2,
warn
3
everybody,
rods.
even, if I'm fishing a spot that I know boats and kayaks come through, I angle my pod all the way down, I have my lines in the water so that they're under them, and I try to warn them, but some people, they just
don't care.
They don't care. They're
They-
like, I'm in a boat, you're on the bank, I don't care.
they
And
care
it's
when
like,
that $1,700
okay.
third bill comes back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
They learned the hard way, but that's for them being a dick. You know what I mean?
It's like, I'm using
And
braid,
not
brother.
being-
We just
not being
re-spooled.
considerate of all fishermen and not,
Yeah.
just a bass fisherman.
Everybody's got to learn their lessons, and sometimes even the Coast
Some,
Guard learns them.
some of them are cheaper than others. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Lessons get learned for sure.
Sometimes the Coast Guard has to learn that lesson too.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially, you
we've
can't
only been
cast
in it,
that far.
like a year, and we've already had a lot of good times. So
Who do you guys look up to as a mentor
Yeah.
since you guys been fishing for carp?
So Kenny Mack definitely just
Kenny
as a
and Carrie.
mentor overall, just not even just carp fishing, just in life. If I ever have a problem or anything, need something to talk about, Kenny's always there.
Yeah.
Before I really got into it, I used to watch a lot of Alan Blair over there, the European style, the Urban Banks. So when he came up with the name, when he had the name American Banx, I was instantly hooked. I was like, it's just like Urban Banks. I'm in. Instantly, I'm in. I just love him. He's always going around. He's not always sitting in one spot. He's making the most of any session that he can. So I kind of look up to him. Definitely Kenny Mack, Kerry Wright, people like that.
It's awesome.
Now, on your guys' shirts now, do you guys just have shirts for like yourself, or do you guys sell merch or anything like
We
that?
do. We're offering. So we have a new design out.
Okay.
It's our. If you look at our YouTube, it's that.
Okay.
It's our logo.
YouTube.com/American Banx with an
Yeah,
X.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Look him up, give him a follow.
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
We charge. So dry fits are 65.
Okay.
We go up to a 3XL in those. We have a Gildan short sleeve that we offer for 55, and then we have a hoodie that we offer for 65.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
is
And
the
the-
hoodie the same dry fit material?
No, it's a heavy hoodie. I can't remember the brand on it, but it's got the logo up
The
front.
brand is American. We ain't worried about what the tag says. We're
Right.
worried about the brand.
Yeah, but it's
brand.
got the same design. It's got
Yeah.
the patch on the front and then the logo on the back as well.
Nice. I like that.
Then,
And then
get your
our-
last name and stuff like that on the back.
Okay.
You guys hats or anything like that?
We did have hats for a while, and they have the old American Banx
Yeah, she's
logo
wearing-
on them,
okay.
but I haven't got any new ones made.
Right.
That was the original merch
So
right there.
you guys had black shirts.
Kenny said you guys are
Oh, that was a bad
racist.
idea, wasn't it?
Well, actually,
Racist
we've been
effect.
thinking about changing our shirt color to carpet green because
It's less hot.
yes,
Yeah.
black is what
Because we do a lot of black. We've done
Yeah.
a lot of black over the years and
No,
stayed.
we learned our lesson.
This has been our. This is
Yeah, I was
been
gonna
our
say you guys have
go-to
the
right
black
here.
and
Yeah,
yellow, and
Yeah,
that's
just how it's been.
Yeah, I mean, we might just have go carpet green and maybe have the logo itself be black and yellow or something like that. But
He said that's racist to fat people only having 3XL.
Carpet
Yeah.
green's definitely where it's at.
It's what the company offers, man.
Eli said. He said, "Man, I'm at Walmart. My phone's about to die watching this. Appreciate you watching."
I appreciate
For
you.
sure.
He said, "What's
He's
their
the one.
base
He's the
pack?"
Arizona carper.
Yeah.
Base pack? Okay, so, alright, here's how I make your pack. I'm gonna give you the secret right now. You take one of the big things of the big oats.
Instant Oats.
Instant oats, make sure it's instant.
Write it down, James.
Like 3/4 of the tub, and then 1 can of corn, just the whole can. Then you get a second can of corn and just the juice, just the water, just pour the water in it. Mix it up. If you want flavor in it, just a little bit less water, add your flavor. And then if it's not sticking, just a little handful of water. Don't dip the bucket in there, you're gonna put too much water. Just a little bit of handful, and you can throw it a county mile.
You can always add, but you can't never take
That's
away.
exactly.
Well, actually,
You can add dry back
But
into
you're
it.
you
right,
could-
you can,
but
but it's
you
only
mess up
gonna
your
it,
mix.
you do
Panko.
mess up your
How about
mix
panko?
because
You guys do panko?
I
got
used to
away
use
from it.
panko, but yeah, I kind of got away from
Yeah.
it. No
We
real
started-
reason. I just
We started using our spod mix, which
Yeah.
gives us that
Okay.
crunch and
I
part,
believe it.
so.
I think.
yeah. And if I really want that like crunchiness, I'll just throw tigers in there.
Well, I think we're about coming to the end of the show.
it's crazy how time flies.
It is.
It was a blast. I was
Man,
gonna say,
awesome.
I could sit here and talk about carp
great
forever.
time with you guys.
Uh,
I really
Thank you very
did.
much.
Well, hey, we're gonna have to get you guys back on here, man.
For
We
sure,
like,
we'd love to.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said,
we're
we're
just now
local.
in
We
the
can-
process of trying to,
I
figure
think
out.
maybe we'll do a video session together.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
For sure.
We
Yeah.
definitely do we have a video shoot planned for?
We always have video shoot, but if we do it, it only depends if we do it or not.
Well,
That
that's
sounds
what
like
I'm
us,
saying,
right?
like-
See what sticks.
Yeah.
Well, because COVID pretty much messed a lot of stuff
That
up
was
for us
4 years ago.
mainly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like we didn't have none, and then it's hard to get everybody
It's
together.
just hard to
because
sometimes get our team together.
because everybody's got different schedules, family, people's working or
I mean,
people's
we
doing
get-
house chore, working at their home.
Yeah, we nearly got 2 teams going. We got one here in Indiana and a team going on in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And Paul Metz, he's the
captain over
captain
there.
over there in the PA. And and of course, our goal is to try to do a video shoot once a month.
Once a month.
And of course, we're doing this podcast every week.
It's just hard, man. It's just hard to get
and
Yeah,
to get
it
the
is
balance
hard. Yeah.
between
We get it.
family.
We want to go to.
we
We
get
want to
it.
go. We don't
Yeah.
want to just go to we've been to 79th and Fall Creek. We
Yep.
know.
Right,
We
that's
know
what
we're
we
gonna go
are,
in
like,
there
we're
and catch. Maybe 4 or 5 fish, but we want to start going to places that actually hold and will produce some bigger fish.
Yeah, that's one of my things that I'm trying to do is I'm kind of doing a series a little bit by myself, but Austin's going to help me. It's like suburban banks.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I have a couple retention ponds that I have permission to fish and pull carp out of there. Show
Yeah.
people, hey, dude, this is in your backyard. You
Yeah.
can come do this too. This isn't.
What's his name? There was that bass angler that did that.
Yep.
He's
He's
funny. I mean, he's really very, very popular. And matter of fact, he got in kind of trouble because
one rod, one reel. Was that it?
he's a real popular bass angler, and he even got in trouble a long time ago because he was in a bass tournament, and he was so pissed off because he forgot to turn his live well. All of his bass died. Well, when he got mad, he started throwing things around. He grabbed the American flag.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And then people were all over him.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, no, he had a made up. He says it wasn't that I hate the America, or the just
Yeah, but
honor the flag.
he probably got paid
But,
off that video though.
I don't know, but
That video probably went viral.
Oh, it did. But,
I guarantee
but
it.
this was like that was like 10 years ago. Oh man, what is this? Ike.
Oh,
Ike.
what is it? Mike Iaconelli?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, him. And
Yeah, he's got his own series
he
of
actually
odds and
did.
Yeah, I
He
used to like
did a
watching
show where he could go. You could catch bass in the city.
him. City
water.
Limits.
Yes.
I grew up watching all that
And
stuff.
you know, he'll start interviewing regular residents in that area.
Mhm.
I said, "Do you think there's bass in this area?" And I said, "No, in that place, are you kidding?" And he
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I like to do. I feel like kind of that's where I get it,
Yeah.
was growing up watching stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it's like,
showing people
well,
what's
I want to
there
go do that
you
with
know.
the fish that I love to do. You know,
Yeah.
he's doing it with bass. I love to do it with carp. You see, luckily carp are a lot bigger. So,
Yeah.
you know, it looks a little bit better when we do it. You know, show up, here's a 20-pound fish. I didn't know a 20-pound fish could live behind my house.
Exactly.
There's bigger ones than that in there, believe it or not.
You know something? I actually got when I started Team Fish Fighters. I actually got the idea off of
It's like you're saying you stole.
a bass, like a bass angling, because like Roland and who's another popular
Bill
one?
Dance.
Bill Dance, thank you.
There you go.
And but when they
Oh yeah, me and my dad every.
They would come on every
Yeah.
Saturday.
And,
every Saturday or
exactly.
Sunday, one or two.
And when they
Crappie
videotape these
fishing,
guys,
bluegill bass.
when they videotape these guys, and they're catching bass left and right. Well, in carp fishing, you're going for maybe sometimes hours and hours and hours without catching a fish. So that's why I said, okay, I'll get a big team together. We go to a video shoot together, and one of
Somebody's gonna catch a
six,
fish.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, somebody's going to catch.
And what part once we leave maybe we got maybe good, sometimes 5 to 10 carp.
Right.
Just depends on the area, man.
Yeah,
If it's
it
not a
only-
big place and you get 6 to 8 guys, you're putting pressure in there, so they're gonna be spooked.
Yeah.
You know.
And then I just we film each other and all that stuff. And everybody's got a different idea how they fish, or their preference how they fish, what kind of bait they use. Hey, I'm gonna chum this. Oh, I like this. I like this little color on my pop up. I like
That's why I love
my
Del
size
Hollow
look.
so much, because it could be morning time or nighttime, and you'll see this, the moon
Yeah, the beautiful
shining off
sceneries.
and we've seen fish coming, jumping,
Yeah.
Crashing.
and then next thing you know, they just disappear,
Yeah.
and you don't see nothing. Then all of a sudden, you just start hearing shit run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
it.
we've seen, feeding bubbles and just take single hook baits and cast it at feeding bubbles and held the rod, and then there it is.
Boom.
Got it. Yep.
Boom.
That's
Boom.
nice though when you can do it like that.
That's why I want to go to Chicago so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, Chicago
You guys
is
seen that?
on the Chicago River.
Chicago River
Downtown?
runs downtown off of Lake Michigan into Chicago.
Now let me.
I think I have been. I've been to one of the Chicago back in the day when it was actually the CCC tournament. Back in way before they started moving around.
There's a kid fishing down there right now, and he's using bass gear, and he's catching 20s, 25s.
Just floating bread.
Just floating
and
bread.
losing every other fish he hooks into.
Wow.
So
Is there a?
It's
send me,
all
can you send me,
shops.
is there a link or
I'll
something?
send you a video
Yeah,
later.
Yeah, send me
Yeah.
send it to me.
But that's
I've
one-
been down there before. I mean, it's been years ago. I was probably 16, 17 years old. I was down there with my dad and his wife, because that's where she's from, Chicago. And we went down there by the river, and I bullshit you not, there was McDonald's French fry boxes everywhere
Oh, yeah.
along the river.
Wow.
And that's what these people was using to catch, to catch the carp. They was
Yeah.
using, they was putting curling French fry up on a hook and casting it out there and catching
yeah,
carp.
this dude's just
Chicken nuggets.
dipping them right over the
French
side
fries.
and 20s.
Chicken nuggets would probably work too, though. You know what
But I mean,
I think it's the grease that's, the grease is probably what's getting them.
it's potato and it's
Yeah.
a starch.
Well, it's
Yeah.
got animal oil in it.
Animal
they
fat,
find
too.
in animal fat. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess
That's another thing we found out with our research is vegetable oils
Mhm.
don't do as well.
Huh.
I don't know what it is about something with the manufacturing process, but if you can use either completely natural, like hemp seed,
Gotcha.
or like a non-processed olive oil or something like that,
Right.
Canola is not
Canola?
canola. Olive.
olive oil.
Olive
I'm
oil.
trying to think.
But
grapeseed oil
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
yep, that or an actual animal fat that'll stay liquid.
Mhm.
That's what we find to work better.
When I
Because
first started carp fishing, I was fishing with hot dogs. For a number size.
We know you still do. It's all right.
Yeah, but I was fishing.
We know
for-
you still use them.
I was fishing for catfish and carp together. If I need a little size 4 hook.
You said catfish and carp together.
Stop
you was
it.
fishing. You was fishing for
What-
whatever
you
bit. You know how many times you been fishing? Like, hey, I'm just here fishing. Whatever we catch, that's what we catch.
That's how I felt at Summit. I was like, I don't even care if I get a catfish. I just want to hear the alarm go off.
Well, see, James has a problem. He always has to stop at the ATM before we go and hit the bank. No, but we are getting to the end of the show, man. Like I said, we appreciate you guys coming on the show.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it, man.
You guys are very knowledgeable.
Very
Yeah, we gotta do it
I'm
again
not
for
gonna
sure.
call you guys
Special days,
nerds.
yes.
Oh, we own it.
Yeah,
We're
but
nerds.
That's what I do in my free time.
I just
really
you
read
guys are
articles
you guys
on
are
carp.
smart. You guys are intelligent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
You
appreciate
guys
it. Thank you very much.
Soaking up, you know, you got like I learned a few things off of you guys. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
That's
learned
why
something
we
just sitting
that's
here
why
too,
we
so.
do this because there's they may not be watching right now, but somebody's gonna watch this and they're gonna learn something from you guys. Even it could be even Kenny Mack because I'm sure he's probably learned something from you guys too. You know what I mean? When people are knowledgeable, it's good to pass on that knowledge to the up and coming.
Yeah, I say
Carp
everything has somebody that you
carp
can learn.
anglers.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what they're doing. You can learn at least one thing from that person.
Even the dude telling you fish stories on the bank, there has to be some truth to it
Yeah.
somewhere.
Something you
It's
can
not
learn.
all lies, right?
Right, you can
It's
learn
like digging
something
through the
from it.
bargain bin at Walmart.
Yeah.
If you dig to the bottom far enough, you might find a movie you like,
Yeah, for sure. Been there. You're right.
And like it's been to the point we've pulled stuff from people that were talking out their butt, and it maybe not the whole part worked, but parts of it have.
We take a little bit of this from this person, a little bit of this from this person, some of this from here, some of this from us, and
Just
suddenly
find out
we got a
what
cake or something,
Find out what works for you guys,
Right.
and run with it.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Is there any shout outs you guys want to give, before we get out here?
Shout out, to Kenny Mack, Kerry Wright, me personally, shout out to all my friends that supported me, before Austin picked me up. Shout out to Molly who, stays with me. Shout out to my mom, shout out to my dad who, took me to those pay lakes and made sure I didn't cross those other people's lines, taught me how to cast.
Shout out to Allie, my beautiful wife over here, doing some photography for us.
Nice.
Kenny Mack and Kerry Wright have taught us so much. The Bobber Shop in McCordsville.
Yeah,
Chris is a great dude.
Yes.
He's helped us a lot.
Yeah.
Brendan Ward, part of your guys' team, he taught me a lot when I
He's
was
very
first getting
knowledgeable.
started.
He's very knowledgeable too.
He knows a lot.
Yeah,
taught
he
me a
does.
lot.
He's a
And
good. He's a good angler.
rest my grandfather and my uncle who have passed, they got me hooked on this when I was little, so
Yes.
without them it wouldn't have been here.
Just like Chris said, been carp fishing over 40 years and still learning.
And that's, I feel like the second that you say, oh, well, I know what I'm doing. I know my system. That's what you mean. That's when now you're just stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck now.
We've done that too. We've gone to a lake and we're like, hey man, we know what works, let's go and do it. And it's like, what is going on?
And we're like, oh, no, it's not working.
Not
And
like
those
I
are some
thought
of
it
my
was.
favorite days, though, because that's when I'm, in my bag. I'm like, okay, well, this color with this flavor, let's try this. Let's try a little bit pumped up, I'm over there going crazy like a scientist. And that's what I love.
I think that's why we all do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a passion, man.
Yeah.
Not everybody has it, and that's what I think. That's what we're trying to do. Is
I got so many more questions I want to say about that. We're about in.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely got to
we'll
get on
definitely
here
have to
again.
get together, man.
It sucks right
for
back
sure.
into this black hole.
I know we can.
We'll have to plan a trip.
Throw
man,
another
get
hour
together on
into
a
it.
Yeah, we'll have to
Saturday.
do a whole session and
Yeah,
actually
for sure.
I go home
sit down there with the rods in the water.
Well,
and
change
do
the
some
light
talks.
off.
I gotta be up at 4 for work in the morning.
Oh.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on the show, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, papers for you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Just
we
throw it in there.
always, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
Oh, what happened there?
There we
Oh,
go.
okay.
So, thank you to all the sponsors and supporters.
Bottom feeder baits,
Bottom
big money
feeder
beepers,
beepers,
team fish fighters. Hey, we appreciate you guys too. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show.
Carp Anglers.
Carpangler.com, Carp Commando, Kenny Mack for everything that he does.
Everything.
Chris from the Barber Shop, TJ from Naptown Bait and Tackle, Chrissy and Dave from Adams Outdoors, Any Bait and
Adams
Tackle.
Outdoors.
Shout out to my sponsors, R&W Carp Juice, one of the best flavor companies around. James from Bottom Feeder Baits.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you for American Banx for coming
Shout
on
out
the show.
to Fish
man.
Fighters.
Team Fish
Yeah,
Fighters.
we appreciate you guys.
All right. Thanks for watching. Tight lines.
See y'all around.